its finest. Join Gareth Stearns for every hit, every touchdown, and every heart-pounding moment. Tonight's coverage is brought to you in part by Abbott Martin eXp Realty, Allstate Insurance, Mike Cheney, Coastal Vascular and Intervention, Portscape Family Fun Center, Gary Smith Ford, Goat Lawn Care, Goofy Go, Gulfaria Marine Adventure Park, Kinfolk's Barbecue, Lenny's Subs and Grill, Mid-South Bank, Miracle Strip Paint and Body, Okaloosa Gas, Pepper's Mexican Grill and Cantina, Skipper's Furniture, Skipper's Dock Seafood and Steam Machine, and Waterstone Mortgage. This is Choctaw Football on 94.3 FTW.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome under the Friday Night Lights right here at Eagles Stadium in Niceville, Florida, where two proud programs collide in one of the fiercest rivalries in Northwest Florida high school football. On one sideline, the 2-2 Niceville Eagles, fast, physical, and built on tradition. This is a program that measures its seasons in playoff runs and region titles. Stands are painted red and white, the Eagle faithful loud and proud, expecting their boys to soar high once again tonight. On the other sideline, the Choctawhatchee Big Green Indians, battle-tested, hard-nosed, and fearless. The Big Green Machine is ready to roll at 4-0 on the season. Generations of Choctaw fans know what this game means. It's not just about yards and points, it's about pride, bragging rights, and making history on the gridiron. Tonight, it's more than just football. Throw out the records. It's a community showdown. It's friends against friends, families divided, and schools separated by just a few miles, but united by a love of Friday night football. Both student sections are roaring. Both marching bands are tuned up. The energy inside this stadium is electric. Let's buckle up and expect some bone-jarring hits. Ladies and gentlemen, you are tuning in to Gareth Stearns, Kevin Horgan, and Brady Brooks here. Eagle Stadium in Niceville, Florida for some Friday night Big Green Indian football. Thank you so much for joining us. Kevin, Brady, how are we feeling tonight?
Feeling good.
I'm ready to win.
Big game tonight. Big game tonight. You got D1 talent all over the field. You got state champions in the crowd. State champions in the past in the crowd. Everybody in Okaloosa County is here tonight.
The stands are absolutely filling up. There may be a game that Choctaw fans refer to as the game, but, ladies and gentlemen, tonight is the game.
Yeah, this is like the where you want to be in the Panhandle tonight. Crestview and Niceville had a expected attendance of about 1,000. It's got to be way bigger tonight. We have the entire home stands is going to be filled, student section and parents. Even Niceville's coming to sit on our side too. We got a lot of parents over here. I think it's going to be filled to the brim. Like you said, we got some past talent. I know Jace Brown is here.
Jace Brown from Kansas State.
He broke Kansas State's sophomore receiving record last year, and he's leading in a lot of their categories as a wide receiver this year. Everybody's here to watch this matchup. It's going to be amazing, and I've had it circled on my calendar. I'm just really excited to get to some football.
It is getting to be the point where it's standing room only, and if you happen to be here in the stadium and you see where we're standing, we're going to be standing here right next to you. We are lined up on the visitors' side of the field, right in front of the visitors' concession, right around the 40-yard line. We are among the throng of Indians faithful that have come out here to Eagle Stadium tonight. Both bands are filling the field right now, and as a matter of fact, it looks like Ruckle's band traveled tonight, and they'll be marching alongside Niceville's band tonight. Choctaw at 4-0 on the season. This is a big one. You know, you like to say that we throw out the records, and we've tried our best not to look forward to this particular game, but you know what? There's nothing left to look forward to. The game is right here tonight, gentlemen.
It's finally time. And, records, like you said, records are thrown out the window in a game like this. Everybody's 0-0. Everything's even. But what I found interesting was only 4 games into the season, these two teams already have played 2 common opponents, Crestview and Pine Forest, just 4 weeks in.
Let's talk about those 2 common opponents and how we've done against them.
Brady?
So Crestview is who I'll kind of tap on now. A lot of people are going to see the Crestview score of Niceville last week. I think it was 32 or 33 to 28 in favor of the Bulldogs. I would like to call that what they say a trap game. Niceville had their sights set high on Choctaw in 2 weeks, and with the new head coach, there may have been a little bit of change in mindset. That was their first time kind of preparing for one of those. It was very easy for something to fall in between the cracks, miss a few days of practice, and Crestview they were gearing up for Niceville all week. I think there was a good chance Niceville could have had a little bit of a fluke game, and you kind of want to hope that the Choctaw Indians are aware not to let it get to their mind that they're bigger and better than Niceville. You got to come out and play 60 minutes, 48 minutes, 50 minutes, whatever, of your best ball.
Niceville was upset by Crestview, the Crestview Bulldogs last week. Crestview came back from 4 touchdowns down to beat the Eagles here in Eagle Stadium. course, a couple weeks earlier, Choctaw went on the road and faced Crestview in Jack Foster Stadium and shut them out 28-0.
Well, for what it's worth, Gareth, Choctaw has shut out two teams that have scored a combined 48 points against Niceville in the first 4 weeks.
So let's talk about that for a second, because not only has Choctaw shut out its last two opponents, and we're talking donuts on the board for Crestview and Pine Forest, and in Navarre, our last three opponents. So that's 12 straight quarters of football. You can actually go back into the Gulf Shores game almost an entire half. We've gone 13 straight quarters of shutout football, and really the last time that a team scored against us was the very first play of the second half in that Gulf Shores game. It was like a 58-yard touchdown pass, and ever since then our defense has just locked down.
Yeah, you don't really You don't want to think about it, because really every game is a new start, but Terrence Brooks knows it. The defense, the Bully Boys know it. They got 13 straight undefeated, and I said it against Pine Forest, but we kind of held strong. But you don't lose all your confidence when you give up a touchdown. You kind of got to expect it against the Eagles. It's all about winning the game. So, yeah, it's nice to have that number, but it cannot be on your mind while you're playing tonight.
Choctaw is a team built on defense. They have a solid offense. Yes, absolutely. It is a very manageable play scheme, but this team is really built on its defense, and it's really impressive because we had some attrition in the offseason, did we not?
Absolutely, we did have some attrition. But one thing I do want to point out is, yes, the defense is a strength of this team. That's apparent. But with injuries, the offense is going to be a little bit behind the defense because they had three key starters that missed 2 full games, basically, and one starter that's basically missed 3 full games.
Very true. Tonight, we do have an injury report on the team. Brady, do you want to talk about the health of our team tonight?
So, I know Peyton Youssef, a very good offensive lineman, transferred from Gulf Shores.
Gulf Breeze.
Gulf Breeze. I always get it mixed up. He transferred, very good offensive lineman. He has not played in, I believe, since the Gulf Shores game.
That's correct. That's why we keep getting thrown off.
I hate these guys. Anyways, he is still not played. I've asked around, and it is confirmed that he will not be playing again. We were kind of hoping maybe they were just holding him off until tonight, but obviously there's something a little bit more serious going on. As far as everyone else, though, everyone's good to go. We know Zion Legree came back from that hamstring against Pine Forest. He got a few more targets last week. I think he should be good to go. Nothing's came out of the practice about him, and I think we're going to have a otherwise healthy Choctaw Indian team tonight.
Yeah, I think last week was a big stepping stone for Choctaw, getting healthy Vaughn Keller back in his first full game of the season. He had 160 all-purpose yards, 134 on the ground, 36 through the air. That's big for the Indians' offense.
Over 20 carries there, too.
Yep, he's up to averaging about 79 yards per game, which might not sound like a lot, but he was injured for those first couple games. He was very hobbled, and it's great to see Vontavious Keller healthy once again. If we are going to make a deep run into the season, we are going to need him at the helm, leading the running back core.
And we need him to continue averaging over 5 yards a carry as well. That's not going to hurt.
Yeah, I think Niceville, you got to start getting that passing game going. I know it was a center of attention these last few games, but if they're able to stop the run game of Vaughn and Carter Morocco, it's going to be really dangerous, and you're going to want to make sure Taman knows how to get to his checkdowns, make sure he can hit those same running backs who are not only skilled at running the ball up the middle and being gritty, but they're really good at sitting around in the flats and being Taman's emergency checkdown.
Yeah, it's very important he goes through his reads, progresses through his reads, finds the open man, and take the mentality, make something out of nothing, and don't take any loss.
Yeah, and on the week 1 game that we played, there were some pretty cool plays they busted out where they would put Carter Morocco, who also happens to be the backup quarterback on the depth chart. They'd kind of throw him on a bubble, and if he's behind the line of scrimmage, of course, if you throw the ball backwards, he could throw the ball. So we could see some crazy plays busted out against Niceville that we haven't used in these games that we played, 42-0, 28-0, stuff like that. So I'm really excited to see how the Brady Ute and Matt Pacheco are going to kind of bust out the playbook and what they're going to do here.
Based upon the last few years, or basically ever since Pacheco took over calling the plays, I assure you we will see formations and we will see plays tonight that we have not seen yet this year.
Gentlemen, thank you for filling in for me there. I had to take my headset off because a gentleman wanted to toot our horns a little bit. The head coach of Dixie Hollins High School, which was the opponent of Fort Walton Beach High School in 1995 state title. Marcus Outson was the Fort Walton Beach quarterback then. The head coach of Dixie Hollins just pulled me aside and said, "Hey guys, you're doing a hell of a job. I'm a football coach. I remember this area, their passion for football, and he just wanted to take a moment to say that. So thank you if you've been listening. We really appreciate you tuning in here on 94.3 FM WFTW on your radio dial. If you are outside of the listening area, you can tune in on our website at 943ftw.com. Again, that's 943ftw.com. We are going to step away for our first commercial break. Thank you so much for tuning in to Big Green Indians football. You are listening to it on the Big Green Radio Network, 94.3 WFTW. And welcome back to Eagle Stadium here in Niceville, Florida. You are listening to Choctawhatchee football on the Big Green Indians Football Network here on FM at 94.3 WFTW. You're listening to Gareth Stearns, Kevin Horgan, and Brady Brooks on the Big Green Indians Football Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. Man, I tell you what, both sides of the stadium are filling in. You've got the Niceville band combined with the Ruckle band. I'm not sure if the Lewis band is here or not, but there are a lot of bandsmen getting ready to take the field to present the colors on this glorious night of football, Friday night football here at Eagle Stadium, Niceville, Florida. Let's talk a little bit about these two teams. Let's talk a little bit about this rivalry, these two programs.
You know, these two teams historically are not each other's rivals. Niceville and Crestview are your primary rivals, and Choctaw and Fort Walton are your primary rivals. But due to double-digit win seasons, district titles, playoff runs, regional appearances, this has become the premier rivalry in Okaloosa County.
I don't think that I could disagree with that much. Both schools only have one state championship. Both schools seem to have a case of is this our year? We're gonna make it a deep run, and they both seem to come up short just a little bit. But Niceville seems to have had that spotlight on them for a little bit longer. For the expectation has been there for a lot longer than them, than Choctaw.
And when Beasley came in, I believe it was 2021. That's when Choctaw kind of picked up. The year before he came in, 2020, we went 0-8. Since then, we've been kind of catching fire. But mind you, Choctaw has not beaten Niceville in 13 years. So put that in perspective, you guys are probably outliving your lives. I was in pre-K, and my voice has dropped quite a bit. So, it's been a while. We haven't beat them in 13 years, and Niceville students have been letting all of us know that on social media. But really, how Choctaw's looking at it, guys, we're 4-0 right now. We have a defense that hasn't let up a score in 13 quarters. Yeah, throw out the records. Heck, throw out the decade. Throw out all the games we played against you before. This is a new Choctaw team. Mind you, a new Niceville coach is playing for them or coaching for them. This is a new squad versus a new squad, and I think Choctaw winning could really set a standard for what they're going to complete this year.
I agree with you, Brady, and let's not overlook the fact that this is a huge game, there's no doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I will say that at the end of the day, Choctawhatchee has gone farther in the playoffs 3 out of the last 4 years, and I think that's really what it comes down to at the end of the day.
Very true, and they were stopped in all 3 years by the same team, were they not?
No, 2 out of 3. They beat St. Augustine the first year, and they lost the next 2 years. First year eventually losing to Lake City, Columbia down in Lake City in overtime.
St. Augustine, team that we want to pay attention to, Big Green family, because they are currently 4-0, and they're the team that we always seem to have to travel to come playoff time. And they are currently playing against a team from Nice High School, who is also 4-0 on the season, ranked number 41 in the state of Florida. If you're curious about Choctaw's ranking in the state of Florida, across all student body populations, across all classes and districts, Choctaw is currently ranked number 24 in the state of Florida. That's a 6-spot jump up from last week, and they're sitting right behind St. Augustine in the state rankings. St. Augustine is ranked number 23 overall in the state of Florida. I believe Niceville's coming in right around number 40 or 39. And, they've got 2 losses on the year, but we know who we're playing.
Right.
And we know what we're up against, and we know the venue that this is all going to take place in. And there's no smack talk coming from this side of the field. We know what we're up against, and we know that we have to prove ourselves. Until something happens when that clock hits 0 and Choctaw has a higher score, then we've got no room to smack talk. Yes, we're 4-0 on the season, and technically this isn't a district game, so the outcome in the grand scheme of things doesn't matter. But damn it, yes, it does. Yes,
it's
it does.
Very important. But I will point out that 4-0 ended last week. This is a whole new week, and basically the season starts tonight.
Brady, do you have any? How's the student body at Choctaw itself? responding to the atmosphere. And I've noticed that you've had some friends stop by to say hello to you tonight. And if you are listening, Brady is our student helper. You're part of the team. I got to stop saying student helper. But Brady is a senior at Choctaw, and he's doing a hell of a job for us. So tell us about the atmosphere on campus right now.
Yeah, this is the most involved I've seen the student body so far this season. And obviously everybody comes to the Fort Walton game. You know, that's the rivalry. Everyone knows each other. But everybody wants to come to Niceville. This is a long drive for students. Some of them don't even come to home games, but they all want to come here tonight. The pep rally we had was bouncing, even more than yesterday. All week there's been lots of banter online between schools, students involved, and they are all ready to watch how this game ends. And quite frankly, I am too. The players have been hyping up the students. All of everybody at Choctaw who's interested in football will be here, even some people who aren't. We even know the alumni. Some Choctaw football players are coming back as well. The entire student body is ready for this. They've all been looking into it. They all are comparing Niceville's head coach to Kalen DeBoer, who is coaching Alabama, and he's kind of having a little bit of a fall off. They're maybe comparing Niceville's 2-2 as a fall off, which I'm not really feeding into, but I think they're really excited.
And I tell you what, the stands are starting to fill up. We are set up on the visitors' side, right around the 40-yard line, right in front of the visitors' concessions. We have people walking past us right up and down the aisle, shaking our hands. I just shook hands with Choctaw's band director. It's just really great seeing the sea of green that have shown out here tonight, and just really the atmosphere in general. Thank you so much for tuning in to the Big Green Radio Network. It looks like they are getting ready to present the colors, and that's a good opportunity for us to take another break and listen to some words from some of our sponsors. You are listening to the Big Green Indians Radio Network on WFTW FM 94.3. What's that racket? What's that noise? Who are all those football boys? You all know the words. You're tuning in to Big Green Indians Football here on the Big Green Indians Football Network, WFTW FM 94.3. You're listening to Gareth Stearns, Kevin Horgan, and Brady Brooks here at Eagle Stadium in Niceville, Florida. You've got the 4-0 Choctawhatchee Indians who are looking to make a statement. They have not beaten the Niceville Eagles since 2012. A lot of these players were in kindergarten with the last time that a victory happened here at Niceville Stadium. And I tell you what, the crowd, the entire county, it seems, has shown up for this game. Can you tell me? It's a veritable who's who. Who have you seen so far,
Absolutely.
Kevin?
And let me start off by saying, I've been to many of these. Make no mistake about it, this is absolutely a playoff atmosphere. But you have a who's who. This is, like Brady alluded to, this is the game that everybody comes out to. I have seen Lionel Fayard. I have seen Jeff Peters. They are Choctaw football. I've seen Robbie Naylor. Robbie Naylor kicked a 51-yard walk-off field goal to beat Fort Walton. I have seen former Choctaw quarterback and current head baseball coach David Weber. Congratulations to him for taking him to the regional semifinals in just the second year, by the way. That's been a long time coming. And I'm sure there's just as many Niceville alum and former state champions and former regional champions over on that side tonight. But it's literally a who's who, and that just goes to show how big of a game this is and who comes out to it.
I think it's been circled on both teams' calendar this year, and that's a really good thing to say because it's always been circled for Choctaw. But I really think that Niceville may have had us on their radar, especially last week.
And that's what Coach Beasley alluded to when we spoke with him before the season is this isn't just the game that we have them circled on the calendar. Now it has become the game where both teams have each other circled on the calendar, and this has kind of became the forefront of the Okaloosa County rivalries instead of your Crestview Niceville and your Choctaw Fort Walton. This has become the game.
Yeah, I mean that's what you look at the attendance here. That you could tell we got people like Dirk Sports, which is a really big company around that kind of broadcast our players in the whole 850 out. They're here to watch. This is their first Choctaw game. Of course, we're here down on the concourse with all the fans because WEAR has their own press box. They've taken ours. No shade. I kind of like it down here. But yeah, everybody's here. They're going to be watching on TV. They're going to be listening on the ticket or right here where everyone needs to be.
It also means that we're actually in the television frame of the camera around us. So we can just do a collective wave right now if they've turned on, and we get some TV time, just like we used to do when we went to professional wrestling and we wanted to have our signs.
I think this delay here in the presentation of colors is probably due to a commercial break, though.
It very well could be. Choctaw is decked out in their all-white uniforms with green numbers tonight, so hopefully we should be able to have good visual acuity, if you will. Niceville, I don't see them on the field right now.
I saw them
They're
kind of.
all maroon.
Yeah.
Niceville's wearing all maroon. That's very apropos. Also wearing all maroon is about 250 bandsmen from the Niceville High School marching band getting ready to take the field. They're accompanied tonight by the bandsmen from Ruckle Middle School. So combined bands this evening. It's really great to see, even though it's not Choctaw, and Choctaw's band did travel tonight. It is great to see the size of the bands getting back to where they were prior to COVID, because COVID really kind of put a dent in the band's
That's a very good thing. They add such an element to the game, especially when touchdowns are scored, when big plays happen. It just adds something that it was lacking there for a few years, like you said, during the COVID area. I remember Choctaw, speaking of what we talked about earlier, Choctaw's first year in the regional first round, the regional quarterfinals, traveling down to St. Augustine. The band did not make the trip, and there's just something different about hearing Big Green Indian playing out of a Bluetooth speaker than there is playing out of the band itself.
Sure is. As the Niceville band takes the field and they start to play their fight song, I would imagine that the presentation of colors will follow after that. The scoreboard is showing 2 minutes and 20 seconds before kickoff, but we still haven't played the national anthem, so maybe that's just a countdown to the presentation of the colors.
Yeah, and the size of this band reminds me a lot of Pine Forest, where they kind of ambushed us, where it seems like they were playing after every drive almost. They had hundreds of people. This is a very involved school, Niceville, a very big school, very good at every sport, and they have a lot of students. They will be playing after the game. There's been a lot of talk after Crestview student section rushed the field last week that Choctaw may after a win. We're not allowed to do that this week, and I think we're getting ready for the national anthem.
So proud to live, so proud to die.
All right, welcome back to Eagle Stadium. The presentation of colors has taken place, and you are listening to Gareth Stearns, Kevin Horgan, and Brady Brooks on the Choctawhatchee Big Greens Indian Radio Network. Thank you so much for tuning in. Choctawhatchee football is 4-0 on the season, facing a much mightier than the record might indicate Niceville Eagles football team, who are 2-2 on the season, having come off a heartbreaking loss last week to the Bulldogs of Crestview, a common opponent between Choctaw and Niceville. Choctaw, of course, traveling to Crestview 3 weeks ago and shutting them out in Jack Foster Stadium 28-0. Kevin, Brady, do you have any final thoughts on tonight's game? What kind of words of wisdom can you impart on us as we get ready for the coin toss?
Well, first thing I'd like to point out is let's not underestimate Niceville's 2-2 record. All 4 games they have played this year were against playoff teams from last year. They have not played an easy schedule.
Yeah, and the passing game, we've said it the last few weeks. It seemed like against Pine Forest, Taman picked it up in the second half. Last week, he kind of was good in the first half, slowed it down. I'd love a complete game of passing from Taman. You like handing the ball off 20 times to Vaughn because he'll get you 5 per. But then again, you want to kind of take some stress on him, stress off of him. Let him know you got some good running backs in the flats. If you need an emergency check down, you got a guy there, but you got to make sure Taman in the pocket passing is a threat for Niceville. Do not give them one strength to hone in on.
The Choctawhatchee Big Green Indians football team are working on a streak of 13 straight scoreless quarters for their opponents. They are working on 13 shutout quarters. That's 3 complete games and then almost a complete half against Gulf Shores. This is a team built to win.
Absolutely, as the captains are getting ready to come to the field.
Yeah, the Indians, we've heard, are relatively healthy tonight. Our big offensive lineman, Peyton Youssef, he is going to be out once again, unfortunately. He's still in his walking boot. We haven't played any district game, so it's important that we keep him healthy as possible, and his backups have gotten some great reps. Other than that, Choctawhatchee is fielding a relatively healthy team on both sides.
Yeah. It's fair to say it's the healthiest they've been since the first quarter of Gulf Shores.
And we were looking for Youssef, kind of talking the last few weeks. Maybe we save him for the Niceville game, which, morally we'd love to and beat Niceville, but the only games that really matter are district. So when it comes to Peyton Youssef, workload management and practice, take some time off, but we got our first district game next week at Arnold. We'd love to have him back then.
Yep, that's very true, and we hope that we hope to see many of you in the stands next week at Panama City Arnold High School. If you can't make it out there, we hope that you will tune in to us on the Big Green Indians Football Radio Network, WFTW FM 94.9 94.3 on your radio dial, or you can tune in on our website and stream directly at 943ftw.com. Again, that's 943ftw.com. Game of the week for the Florida Panhandle.
Here we
as
go.
Niceville gets ready to kick the ball off to the Indians. Niceville wearing all maroon with white numbers. The Indians wearing all white with green numbers, and the kick is away. It is a short kick, and it is fielded at the 15-yard line by Choctaw. Little zigging and zagging. Zion Legree does find a hole. He's at the 40. He's at the 45, and he is driven out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Indians are going to have great field position on their first drive, moving left to right on your radio dial. I'll take it.
Yeah, kind of a pop-up towards 20. He could have fair caught it if he wanted to. It kind of sat up there for a while. Conservative ran out of bounds, but got plenty of yards, broke a few tackles. Now we're set up right around midfield. And one storyline, I will say, number 53 out there for Niceville. I believe that is him, Jamarcus Powell, maybe, whatever it is. He transferred from Choctaw to Niceville, claimed it was a business decision, and a lot of players have been using that as fire, so look for a few of them to get chippy towards 5-3.
And your first electric play from the Wisconsin commit of the season, a 40-yard kickoff return.
Very true. Very true. And he found a hole, too. It didn't look good at the very beginning. He found a way as Taman Zabatakis draws an offsides. I don't believe that the Indians moved. It does look like encroachment by the Eagles. Yes, and that's going to move the Indians right to the 50-yard line.
We saw that at the Pine Forest. There was a lot of little pumps. Like at the beginning of the game, they played a lot of fake snaps, hard counts to get them off sides. And for Choctaw, it's kind of nice to be busting it out that early. 1st and 5 opens up the playbook on the first play here.
Look for Choctaw to try to establish the ground game here with Von Keller early, averaging 5.3 yards a carry on the season. Really only playing a second fully healthy game. I know that's something they want to establish early here on first down.
And Taman in the shotgun with Vaughn split to his right. We've got Trips right, and the handoff does go to Vontavious Keller, who slides his way ahead for a solid gain of 4 yards on first down. About 4.5, actually. We'll take that every time on first down.
Absolutely. It's going to bring up a second and very short.
And that having that positive gain on first down sets up second and third down situations that are not as predictable for the other team. So it's a really good situation, and it's a continuation of the way that Choctaw has kind of set the tone early on in their games all season long.
Yeah, and when you have a run game as good as Choctaw's, you're really free to throw the ball on second and third and short because you know that you can get that first down if need be.
All right, Taman comes up to the line. He's in the shotgun. He's got running backs to each side of him, and looks like we have a dead ball. I don't know if it was delay of game or maybe a false start. I guess we'll find out here in a second.
The play was supposed to be a little screen pass out into the right flats to Zion Legree. Like I said earlier, that's a play we have not seen yet this year. That's a formation we have not seen yet this year.
And because we are lined up on the visitors' side, we are the referee's back is to us, so we can't necessarily see the call. I think it was a delay of game.
That was a false start that they called.
Okay, all right, yeah. We can only judge by the muscle tension of his shoulders, the back shoulders. So. Anyway, the Indians are facing it with second down and about 6 to go. Taman Zabatakis is in the shotgun with Vontavious Keller lined up to his left. He's got Trips wide receivers to his right. The snap is away, and it is a quick pass to Zion Legree, number 6, who darts ahead for a first down and more. He's going to be brought down at the 42-yard line of Niceville.
You know, Gareth, he caught the ball well past the first down. He almost lost it going back trying to get extra yards, but he ends up fighting for another 4 yards and a Choctaw first down.
I think Zion Legree was anticipating getting hit right as soon as the ball came, and he ran forward a yard or two just to lessen the impact, but there was no one there.
He's obviously going to be the focal point of the Niceville defense, and I didn't think he was expected to be that wide open, Gareth.
Yeah, speaking of transfers that went from one school to the other, Zion Legree, I believe, came from Niceville last year. Did he
Pine
not?
Forest.
Okay. And so the handoff goes to Vontavious Keller, who shoots to the west and is brought down immediately for a loss of about 3 yards on the play. It's going to be 2nd and 13 for the Indians, who are moving left to right on your radio dial. They are in Niceville territory, right around the 41-yard line. There is 10 minutes and 9 seconds left. Score is tied. We're still in the first possession of the game for the Indians.
And Gareth, there was a lot of room there for Keller. Tremendous tackle by number 22 for Niceville, Clay Nielsen, the 5'10" junior.
All right, so we've got Trips to the left, Taman Zapatakis in the shotgun with Vontavious Keller lined up to his right. And the snap is away. Taman looks. And it looks like we're looking for a flag.
Wow.
We don't see one. It was an incomplete pass. Looked like Taman was going to keep it, but he decided to throw it the last second, and I don't know how we don't see any yellow laundry on the field.
Yeah,
But
I thought the receiver caught the ball because he was full on tackles. I mean, that was a rough no call.
The receiver was tackled before the ball even reached the receiver.
nonetheless, it is 3rd down and long, which is a situation that Choctaw really hasn't been faced with much this so far on the early season.
And I will give flowers to Taman there. We talked about his passing game. He was under pressure, running throw, made a perfect pass, and it really could have been caught.
All right, we got both bands.
It's the biggest play of the game up to this point for the Choctaw offense.
Raucous. It's 3rd down and 13. Pistol formation. Taman Zapatakis takes the snap. He rolls to his left. He throws off balance. Is caught by number 4 for a
Fumbled out of bounds. So Choctaw's going to catch a break right there. First down and the fumble went out of bounds. They're going to pick up 6 on the fumble, Gareth.
Are they going to give him a completed catch in a football move prior to the fumble?
Probably not at Eagle Stadium.
I think
Beasley is losing his mind. He looks like he's arguing a catch. They're not going to give it to him.
That's 2 plays in a row with some very questionable calls that just didn't go Choctaw's way. They're going to be forced to punt.
Welcome to Niceville.
so. Yeah, so that pass was complete to the tight end, number 4, Rhino Burks, or was it complete? Apparently, it looked like he caught it, made a football move, and then fumbled the ball out of bounds. But the officials are saying that it was not a completed catch.
And it is easy for us to lose our heat and blame the refs, but it's a lot easier if you catch the ball, bring it down, and get to the sideline. Overall, let's just hope that Figueroa's punt pins him back.
What a
quickly.
punt.
Figueroa has got airtime for days on his punts, and it went out of bounds. Oh, you kidding?
Inside the 1 yard
my
line.
gosh, that is one of the greatest punts I've ever seen.
That was incredible. The hang time, the bounce, it went out of bounds right around the 1 foot line.
Dude, I just
They're
watched
going to give him a touchback, it appears.
Are you kidding?
No, they pinned it at the 1. The side refs pinned it at the 1.
Okay,
They're bringing
okay.
it back.
I thought the
every
center-
Choctaw player, I don't know if that was designed. They all went to the left, maybe following the Niceville receiver, thinking, if I duke them out, this gets to the end zone. They don't know who they're playing. Jordan Figueroa, one of the greatest punts at any level I've ever seen.
It is very odd to get excited about the punting situation.
And we have every single game this year, Gareth. There, it says a lot about Figueroa.
He has flipped the field. I think he's even got an interception on the season as well.
He does.
He's a very versatile player. We got a lot of Swiss Army knife type players. We haven't even mentioned Carter Morocco's name yet tonight as Niceville begins to take their first snap from the shotgun, and there is a run right up the middle for a gain of about 6 yards on first down. Boy, Niceville needed that. It really created
It's
space.
stopped by number 1 for Choctaw, Lonte Reese, and that's going to be about 8 yards on first down for just a true freshman, or just a freshman, Gilliard.
This, that is a speedster, and
Yeah.
he is a freshman. He is doing incredible things. Just 4 games into his matriculation at the high school level, the snap is away. It is a quick throw to the right, and it is a tackle by Choctaw. I don't believe there was much of a gain there. I believe we're going to be facing a third and short situation, about 3rd and 3.
Yeah, maybe about a
long
yard.
2.
Justice Donahue, meet Mario Alloway.
Amen. Alloway brothers, just incredible on the season. We're going to be calling their names quite a lot tonight. The Reese brothers, of course,
Big third
Jabari
down
Weeks.
here.
This is a big stop for our Indian secondary. It is 3rd down, and we'll call it a long 2 for the Niceville Eagles with 7:58 remaining in the first quarter. This is a 0-0 score. Okay, so the snap is away. The Niceville quarterback is scanning the field, and he does have an opening, and he keeps it, and he runs ahead for a gain of about 8 yards. That's going to be a Niceville Eagles first down.
Great play to keep the play alive by the sophomore quarterback, Deegan McCoy, there for the Eagles. Didn't have anything open, avoided a coverage sack, and got the first down.
He's really tall. That's Niceville. You got to think they've got a really good, solid base for the next couple of years. If Choctaw is going to take their shot, it's really going to probably need to be this year, because with a freshman running back and a sophomore quarterback, that's just the way it is. So we got a quick snap, and it looks like maybe a false start on Niceville, hopefully.
One thing I've not noticed, Gareth, tonight is Niceville's leading receiver and James Madison commit number 18, Max Roche. Haven't seen him out there yet tonight. Don't know what's going on, but that's something to keep an eye on.
Very true, very true. It looks like there must have been encroachment or a neutral zone infraction by Choctaw, because they have marched it up 5 yards, and the Eagles will have it first down and 5 from their own 20-yard line, moving right to left on your radio dial here, WFTW 94.3, the Big Green Indians football radio network. The snap is away. The handoff goes to their freshman running back, Gilliard, who darts ahead for a gain of maybe 2. The Indians' defense swarmed immediately, and that's good to see because he found an opening on that first run, and I was a little worried that he was going to break it loose.
Appears they gave him 8 on that.
Well, our depth perception's a little off here, and we're among the throng, so we're right next to basically the entire both fan bases, really. Choctaw, we've got green shirts and maroon shirts all around us, and a line for the concession as well. As the Eagles come to the line, it is second down and 4 to go. Quick snap. Pass complete. Fumble. Okay, so the pass was complete to Niceville. Fumble and then recovered by the Niceville receiver. It looks like
number 2, Justice Donahue, the Northern Illinois commit.
Yep.
With the catch, the fumble, and the recovery.
Very true. It's going to be third and about 2 yards for the Niceville Eagles. The second, third and short situation that our Indians defense has been faced with.
Yeah, and that young quarterback, Deegan McCoy, I believe is his name. He's very good with his legs, and what we saw last time on that third and short, he rolled out and got some yards. Got to be good with the contain and got to have strong rush up the middle. You cannot let him get loose because he
showed
can
a lot
run
of
for
composure.
This is a big opportunity here for the Indians defense. It would be great to have a stop here, to stop them at 1 first down on the drive. The Eagles are lined up in the shotgun with 2 yards to go before a first down. It looks like there's maybe a timeout called. Timeout called on the field. We've got a good one so far, ladies and gentlemen. Both teams have had the ball one time. The Indians pinned the Niceville Eagles deep in their own territory on their punt. Niceville has it on their first possession, facing a third down and short with 6 minutes and 14 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Thank you so much for tuning in to Eagle Stadium and the Big Green Indians Football Network. We are going to take a step away to listen to some of our words from our sponsors. And welcome back to Eagle Stadium. We're going to have to get the timing right with these because it's a television game. This is the WEAR WFGX Game of the Week for the second week in a row for Choctaw. Last week they were with us at Etheridge Stadium. This week you are joining us with Choctaw on the road at Niceville Stadium. Third down and short for the Eagles. Shotgun formation. And this is a big one. We've got the Niceville quarterback running to his right, and it is almost intercepted by Ellis Alloway.
I will say he rolled out right. Mario Alloway was facing him, and when he tried to throw it, Ellis Alloway, the brother, was right there to meet it in the air. Beautiful play by our 2 edge rushers.
I thought that was number 11, Jordan Figueroa, with the deflection.
I saw 0, but hey, I'm 47 and a half years old. My vision's a little questionable.
I got 2 months on you.
I'm going to brag my eyes. I saw Mario Alloway. So
all right,
well, let's go with the youngster because he knows better.
Either way, it is a 6 and out or 7 and out. So whatever. Niceville's punting the ball to Choctaw, and our receiver is lined up on Choctaw's 45-yard line, getting ready to receive the ball. Both teams have had the ball for one possession. It is a poor snap, but the kick has been gotten off, and it does take a Niceville bounce, a really good Niceville bounce, and the field has been flipped. Niceville has touched the ball at the Indians' 31, and Choctaw will begin their second possession of the game at the 31-yard line, moving left to right on your radio dial here on the Big Green Indians Radio Network, WFTW FM 94.3. 5 minutes and 58 seconds remains in the first quarter. We have a tie score 0-0. Can't tell if we're going to a TV timeout or if they're just going to bring the teams back on. But Kevin, what do you think so far?
I think both teams have put together decent drives. They've both teams got a first down. I think Niceville may have gotten 2. Choctaw, though, did actually enter Niceville territory. Niceville has not entered Choctaw territory yet. I didn't expect a high-scoring game, and I still don't expect one tonight.
Yeah, for all that 2 one-possession appearances so far for a team, what that'll show you, I'm kind of looking at Choctaw right now. They had a punt, special teams return, brought them all the way to the 45. The punt pinned them at the 1, and even though I believe they didn't grab a first down, all their plays looked a lot more, kind of well-made. We had some questionable calls. We had the no-catch fumble, and then, whatever the other play was, I forgot, but Choctaw's looking more promising.
Regardless, it is 0-0 here at Eagle Stadium. The Indians are getting ready to begin their second possession of the football game from their own 31-yard line, moving left to right on your radio dial. Taman Zabatakis is in the shotgun with Vontavious Keller lined up to his left. He hands it off to Vontavious Keller, who darts ahead for a solid gain of about maybe 3.5, 4 yards.
Looks like they're going to give him 5 on that with a forward motion.
It's hard to bring him down. He really has a frame about him, kind of similar to Jerome Bettis, maybe like maybe a minibus.
Minibus. We'll call that. He is looking though. He's still looking to work off his 25 carry, 134-yard performance last week as his first healthy week.
Yeah,
looking to build on that.
He's got plenty of potential. He came into the season with aspirations of a 2,000-yard season. He has every ability. The snap is away. The pass is complete to number 24, Brody Brechtel. Short gain. Brody Brechtel actually was a transfer from Niceville High School last year, if I remember correctly.
It's going to set up about a 3rd and 3 here for the Indians at the Niceville 30 or at their own 38-yard line. Be interesting to see what Matt Pacheco dials up here.
Yep, it's about 3rd down and 4 for the Indians. It would be really unfortunate to have a 3-and-out here. So in terms of momentum and pace of game and establishing the tone that we want to set, I think it's very important that we get these 4 yards. We might be in 2-down territory. Who knows? We've got 4 wide receivers, and Taman Zabatakis looks to the sideline. Coach Pacheco calls in the play, and it looks like perhaps...
Looks like number 14, DJ Spence, was lined up in the neutral zone, unfortunately, there for the Indians.
Yeah, a little bit of a discipline... or was it a timeout? I think it was a timeout.
Looks like Beasley just took a timeout and voided the penalty.
All right, well, that's good.
But, with a talent like DJ Spence, 3-star recruit with over 11 offers, that's somebody with just 3 catches on the year. Now, granted, 2 of them, I believe, have been touchdowns. That's somebody Choctaw really needs to look to get the ball to, and not necessarily just via the pass.
Yeah, and the pass game hasn't been too much. So, when you look at these guys' reception numbers, you don't really, struggle. In blowout games like they've been running the ball a lot more. What I did see from Niceville before the snap, though, a no safety look. That's kind of interesting to bring out on 3rd down. Maybe they drop some guys back in coverage, but I'm really excited to see what will happen. I think they may pass it here.
They're basically telling Choctaw, let's see if you can throw it downfield on us.
Yep, and Choctaw does have 4 wide receivers. Trips to the right, and looks like
Legree will be solo to the left hash.
That's correct, and Vontavious right now is lined up to Taman Zabatakis' right. This is a raucous crowd. We are literally surrounded by standing room only fans. So
this stadium seats 2,000. I would be willing to bet there's about 3 here tonight, Gareth.
Yep. There's we haven't got complete numbers on paid attendance yet. We'll report back in the 4th quarter when that happens. Taman Zabatakis comes up to the line. Indians facing 3rd and 4, and Taman does look to the sideline to get a potential audible from Coach Pacheco. Vontavious Keller goes to Taman's left, and the handoff does go to Vontavious Keller, who darts ahead, does what he does, and he's brought down to the Indians' 45-yard line for an Indians first down.
Hard run by Vontavious Keller, and a tremendous job of blocking by the middle of that Choctawhatchee offensive line, and unfortunately one of them is down.
Is that Vontavious?
That's Vontavious Keller down.
No, it is Vontavious. He's right back up. I think he fell on the ball. It looks like he might have gotten tackled onto the ball.
Vontavious Keller is limping off the field. No, he's trying to put weight on whatever he's. You know what?
He appeared to got the wind taken out of him. Came up holding his stomach initially.
He did get picked up and kind of thrown to the ground, but he took off his left cleat. They're looking at his left foot, almost ankle. He just took his sock off.
And that is the foot that did keep him out the first 2.5 weeks of the season.
Yep. It's our first chance to talk about Carter Morocco, though, who does enter. And is he actually taking the snap from quarterback?
No, he's at running back, but there's not a lot of drop-off in talent and or speed there.
And the handoff does go to Carter Morocco, who jets ahead north-south and gets about 6 yards on first down. We'll take that every time.
Push and shove by Brooks.
A lot of extracurricular starting to go after every play here. You got to be careful not to get the personal foul.
And for the second time
for
this
either
evening,
team,
the Indians are in Eagle territory. They are driving down the field. It is their second possession of the football game. The score is tied 0-0 here at Eagle Stadium in Niceville, Florida. 3 minutes and 44 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
Now, that was also a very important run by Carter Morocco. That is a statement. You heard our running back, and we got a guy who's going to run for 7 on you on the very next down. Very, very good look there from Morocco.
I wouldn't be surprised if Whidbey wants his turn. He's chomping at the bit to get his yards in as well. As Taman comes to the line, we've got shotgun formation. Carter Morocco split to his left, and Taman does drop back and even completes his pass. The Indians are still on their feet, and they get a first down. It's going to be a gain of about 15 yards.
That's number 7, the defensive back, Amir Reese, coming over on offense to make the biggest play of the game so far.
Two-way players, rivalry game, Friday Night Lights. What more could you ask for,
It doesn't get any better than this, Gareth. I am so happy to be here tonight. And this game has gone a lot like expected. But one thing I want to bring up is what I find is very interesting that Choctaw has yet to exploit is the fact that Niceville is playing a 4-star Wisconsin commit, Zion Legree, man-to-man coverage with no over-the-top help.
Either they have a lot of confidence in their cornerbacks or maybe they don't have the personnel. Either way, the snap is away and the pass is complete. And it looks like we've got another positive gain on first down. It's on the opposite side of the field, but I'm gonna guess it's around 7 to 8 yards. There are a lot of extracurricular activities. Was that a first down?
He's lined up.
Yes, that was a first down. Just speaking of who's who, Choctawhatchee head girls flag football coach Jimmy Bays here tonight with his 5 straight state championship appearances.
That's incredible. As a matter of fact, they were in the news recently because one of their players was just made the Jacksonville Jaguars representative.
Tiaris Morales, very, very notable young woman, made the NFL Honors Latino for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Quarterback for the girls flag football team, leading scorer for the basketball team.
Keeps it. He darts to his left, and he gets about maybe 3 yards on first down. He was really thrown out of bounds very, very viciously.
Very, very borderline late hit as well, Garrett. It looked to be a few steps out of bounds.
Nonetheless, there's 30 seconds on the play clock. It is second and about a long 6, maybe a short 7 for the Indians. They are definitely in field goal range of their kicker, which we haven't had that much of an opportunity to look at other than in practice this year.
I believe he's only had one field goal attempt on the season. But this is a statement drive for Choctaw. They need to put points on the board. They need to score first for the first time in 6 years against Niceville, even if it is just a 3.
Shotgun formation. Handoff goes to Carter Morocco, who is stopped right at the line almost immediately, and it's going to be third down, maybe even a loss of 1 on that one. It's going to be third down and 8 for the Indians on their about the 17-yard line.
And this is prime Matt Pacheco calling a play that has not been done yet this year time right here, guys.
I do see Vontavious Keller walking up and down the sidelines, trying to stretch out whatever ails him at the moment. He is a little less ginger. You can tell he wants to get that helmet back on and get back out there. Nonetheless, we've got Carter Morocco right now lined up to Taman Zabatakis left. We've got 4 wide receivers, 2 to each side. Zabatakis drops back and he throws, and the catch is made, but the receiver is brought down almost immediately. Looks like we're going to be faced
just
with
a first down saving ankle tackle there by number 2 for Niceville, the wide receiver Justice Onahu, the NIU commit. They're going to really like him up in DeKalb.
Why isn't it DeKalb?
It depends how the Northerners pronounce it.
Gotcha. Well, it looks like the Indians are setting up for only their second field goal attempt of the entire season.
Kyle Galkowski.
We have watched this Polish puncher
37 yards.
During practice, he has booted his extra points all the way to Meggs after every touchdown, and we've got wide to the left.
Right.
That was... Well, it depends on what side of the field you're on, I guess. Us being on the visitor's side. Either way, the score is still tied 0-0. It really looked like, from our angle, it went through the upright.
Yeah, I will say I watched my Dolphins lose to the Bills last night, and if there is any Bills fan, I will say wide right, and I will let you feel that trauma because I am angry.
That looked dead center, guys.
My depth perception is way off here. The angle, I don't know. But our kicker is 0 for 2 on the season when it comes to field goal attempts, and it's not on a lack of muscle behind the leg. He definitely had the distance. The fans in the stadium shot the confetti and everything. I thought for sure that we had a 3-0 lead. Nonetheless, Niceville gets ready to take the ball for their second possession of the football game at their own 20-yard line with 41 seconds remaining in the first quarter. And the snap is away. The handoff does go to their freshman running back, Gilliard, and he darts ahead for about a 2-yard gain.
Notice with the threat of Deegan McCoy's legs, Choctaw has number 1 Alante Reese and number 10 Jabari Weeks almost in a rover type position. One of them is basically spying the quarterback.
Now, does Niceville have their star receiver in yet? You mentioned
I
earlier
still
you
have
hadn't
not seen
that.
number 18, Max Rhodes, to James Madison commit. And congratulations to him. He did pick up an offer from Arkansas State and Toledo this week as well.
All right. Niceville comes to the line. It's 2nd down and 8. They might not get a playoff because the first quarter has now come to an end. The score is tied 0-0. The Indians now have 14 straight quarters of shutout football, going back 3.5 football games. This is a great start. It's tied 0-0. Choctaw is 4-0 on the season. It looks like we've got number 1 for Choctaw is a little gimpy. That's Alante Reese.
Reese, which is one of their best defensive players. That's certainly not good news for the Indians if this is something that is going to linger or be a game-long thing.
And as they flip the field here, we're going to go ahead and step away and listen to some words from our commercial sponsors. Thank you so much for listening to Choctawhatchee Big Green Indians football. Back to Eagle Stadium. Yes, Adam Sandler's lonesome kicker. It's apropos because Choctaw had their second opportunity of the year to kick a field goal, first opportunity of the game, and what looked like, from our angle, a ball that went through the uprights. It was called wide right, and that's what it is. Niceville is on their second possession here at the beginning of the second quarter. Niceville is now moving left to right on your radio dial with the score tied 0-0 here at Eagle Stadium.
Yeah, and I did talk to Galkowski. He's got some family in New York. Hello to those guys. Glad that you're tuning in all the way from up north. And it's very unfortunate, but I think we will see him bang a field goal by the end of the year.
Yeah,
so.
I have no doubt that his leg. We will need to rely on his leg, not only in this game but throughout the season. Niceville gets ready to take the snap. 2nd down and 8. Here, moving left to right on your radio dial. The snap is away. The pass is away. There's a missed tackle, and the Indians still swarm and bring the receiver down shy of the first down marker. It is going to be 3rd down and a long, about 6 yards for the Eagles on their own 25-yard line. So, again, Choctaw's defense not allowing much so far, and that's a good sign.
That was a great. That was great. Number 2, Mario Alloway, and Sam Harrison Award winner Boston Murray combined on that tackle. So that's going to bring up 3rd and long for the Eagles in their own territory.
And the chop is running wild. We're on the student section side of the field. Everyone's loud.
3rd down and long for the Eagles. They've got 4 wide receivers split to the right, all lined up one behind the other. There is pressure, and the throw is thrown out of bounds. That's going to be a 4th down situation for the Eagles. That is a no-doubt punting situation coming up. Terrific job by the Indians defense, who just continues to excel on this early season.
And Mario Alloway, Ellis Alloway, who we saw bat down the pass on 3rd down last drive, applying the pressure. He had no looks on any of his reads. Beautiful coverage by Choctaw, getting the ball back. It'd be great to get some points on the board here.
It would be great to get a nice return here. The last time that Niceville punted, we allowed the ball to bounce, and it took a fortuitous Niceville bounce as Brody Brechtel gets ready to receive the punt for the Indians. He's standing at his own 45-yard line, getting ready to run the ball right to left on your radio dial as the snap is away for the Eagles. It's a much better snap this time. The Indians bring the house, but the kick is away, and the ball does bounce. It takes another good fortuitous bounce for Niceville. I'm going to call that like a 55-yard punt.
I'll call that one a Jordan Figueroa.
Absolutely. Indians still with good field position to start their 3rd possession of the game. They're going to begin in their own territory, right around their own 35-yard line, I think.
Yeah, I'm going to make some comments on some out of town scores just real quick. St. Augustine and Nice at halftime. St. Augustine up 14-10 over Nice. For Walton Beach, that school across the street, whatever, they're up 6-0 on Walton. Rickards, a district opponent, they're up 7-0 on Colquitt in the first quarter. And is there one more score? Arnold down 16-0. Our opponents next week down 16-0 in the second quarter.
I'll tell you guys what, Choctaw's defense is playing too good for the Indians' offense not to give them some points.
Taman Zabatakis is lined up in the shotgun. He's got 4 wide receivers. He does hand the ball off to Carter Morocco. He's got a seam. He runs ahead for a first down, even more. He's crossed into the Eagles' territory. He's brought down at the Eagles' 43-yard line. That is a gain of about 27 yards. Incredible run. This is with our starting running back, Vontavious Keller, still pacing the sidelines, wanting to put that football helmet back on, not walking as gingerly as he was, but hey, we might not need him as adamantly as we thought we did.
What an asset for this Indians offense to have that little, if any, of a drop-off when you lose your starting running back and you bring in the next man up.
Indians running a little hurry up here, it would seem. And, yeah, they didn't even look to the sideline, and the snap is away. Taman Zabatakis does complete the pass. It is a high one, but it is caught. Number 14, DJ Spence on the reception. Okay, they are giving him a completion there. Looked like it might have bounced a little bit.
Going to give him about 3.5, maybe 4 yards. Going to set up a 2nd and 6, maybe a 2nd and 6.5 here for the Indians. So far this year, I think Zabatakis looks better throwing the ball than he has this year. He hadn't yet really taken off and run like I talked about with Brady. He's going through his progressions and going through his reads and finding the open man, even if it's just a short gain.
Yeah, he looks really good. 6 for 8 for 51 yards right now, and then he's got 2 rush yards, but he's looking really good, not just at the stats, but in the eye test. He's doing very good through his progression.
Extremely poised. The snap is away. The handoff goes to Carter Morocco. There is a fumble, but is picked up by the quarterback, and Zabatakis is able to make something out of what could have been a very, very...
Could have been a disaster, and I believe they're probably going to get about a half a yard on that.
Yeah.
The Statue of Liberty right there.
And when you're playing a team like Niceville and you're playing them at their house, a half a yard is a half a yard.
9:20 remains here in the second quarter at Eagle Stadium in Niceville, Florida. The Indians of Choctawhatchee 0. The Eagles of Niceville 0.
I will comment on Von Keller. I'm looking at him on the sideline. What I saw through the process, he was heavily braced, and in between the quarter switches, he was doing his agility. He looks good, but right now he is locked in on something. But I'm sure he's ready to come into this game when requested.
Number 52, Jamarcus Powell, was in on that stop.
Carter Morocco lined up to Zabatakis' right. It is a quick snap, quick pass that is complete for an Indians first down. The chains are going to be moved. Choctaw is going to have it 1st and 10 from the 32-yard line.
They're going to give him a first down here.
Yep.
Choctaw's going to move inside the Niceville 35-yard line. It's time for Choctaw to put some points up on the board the way this defense is playing. It's going to take a lot of pressure off the defense.
So, okay, let's talk about momentum here. It's been pretty much all Choctaw. The ball has been in the Niceville side of the field. Even though the score is 0-0, you have to feel good about the tone that the Indians team has set. As the snap is away and the handoff goes to Carter Morocco, and he just finds an instant seam, and he darts ahead, maybe 8 or 9 yards. Let's see how close he is to that marker.
It's like I talked about, Gareth. There's just no drop-off. What an asset to have.
It really is. I mean, Vontavious can just continue stretching on the sideline right now because Carter Morocco, the Indian Swiss Army knife, has said, put me in, coach. I'm ready.
4 for 42 on the ground so far for Morocco, and before Keller came out, he was 4 for 13.
And, a lot of people forget Morocco started the first 5 games of last year at quarterback and went 4-1 with the only loss coming to Niceville.
Very good statistic there as the Indians come to the line. There was not a first down. It's going to be 2nd and about 1. Taman Zabatakis does take the snap. He rolls to his right. He sets his feet. He throws it down. It's wide open. That is a touchdown for the Indians. Number 6.
Zion Legree from 32.
32 yards out.
25 yards out.
And Gareth, Kevin, when you play with fire, you're going to get burned. No safety look again for Niceville. All he had to do was beat the man coverage. He hit the middle of the field, and it was a footer. Legree had him beat. Taman, a beautifully placed ball in the breadbasket. Choctaw on top early.
I got to tell you what, Brady, Gareth, that was the best pass I've seen Taman throw all year. Hit him right in the numbers for 6.
The dude was wide open. This is really good. The point after is up. It is got the distance. It almost goes over John Sims Parkway. The Indians are leading the Niceville Eagles 7-0 with 7:34 remaining here at Eagle Stadium. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to the Big Green Indians Football Network on FM 94.3 WFTW. You can also find us online at 943ftw.com. We've got tons of confetti that is flying all around us. We are set up on the visitors' sideline. If you are tuning in on television, you could probably right in the main frame of the camera view, and we are literally surrounded by people waiting in line for Diet Coke and cheeseburgers.
I can't wait for halftime. I mean, this place is going to be packed, but this is where I want to be right now. I'd almost rather be here in the press box. I'm kind of glad we got kicked out. I hear the student section going wild. We heard them in the crowd. We got confetti flying over us. It feels like we're on the sideline.
I put a piece of this little confetti in my back pocket as a souvenir. It's nice and green, and it looks potentially memorable. The tone set by this Indians football team so far with 7:34 remaining in the second quarter, there's not much negative that you can say. The majority of the plays have taken place on Niceville's side of the field. The Indians defense, which we have to rely on, has has stepped up to the challenge and performed admirably.
Nothing you can say wrong, really. Taman has 2 incompletions, one of which was a questionable incompletion. Could have been a fumble. Everything's looked good. We talked about the pass game needs to be on point. The pass game's really been on point. Niceville's kind of selling out for the run. You talk about the no safety look. It's not a, here, throw the ball. It's a, we need to stuff the run. They're running the ball right up our alley.
Suddenly, this stadium's quieted a little bit. I can't explain why that might happen, but as I peer across the field at the sea of red before us, not too many people are on their feet, and mum's the word over there right now.
Yeah, I'm kind of okay with everything, the playoff atmosphere going, and everyone being quiet if it means our Big Green Indians are up big.
Absolutely, and the Choctaw Indians are working on 14 straight shutout quarters of football, leading the Niceville Eagles 7-0 with 7:34 left in the second quarter here at Eagle Stadium in Niceville, Florida. Indians are getting ready to kick the ball off after their touchdown catch, and the kick is away. And it goes out of bounds. That's going to be a legal procedure. Unfortunately, a little extracurriculars. Hopefully we don't get anything called extra. So that's going to be an out-of-bounds kickoff, which, of course, is going to put the ball all the way up, I believe, at the 35-yard line for Niceville.
Yeah, it's definitely not what you want to happen momentum-wise coming off that great pitch and catch touchdown by the Indians. But their defense is going to rise to occasion like it has been, I think, and hopefully hold Niceville to a 3-and-out and maybe try to build a lead here before the half.
Yeah, and what I saw pushing shove-wise, number 2, Mario Alloway for Choctaw, and the number 15, Thomas Radliff for Niceville. Mario Alloway's gotten a few penalties in his day for a little chip shot here and there. You got to make sure Terrence Brooks has got to preach composure. You're going to get stops. You cannot give up those lack of emotion first downs.
As Niceville, go ahead, Kevin.
And well, let's keep in mind, and Gareth, can you correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think Choctaw has received the second half kickoff once this year, and they will not tonight. Niceville will.
That's correct. As Niceville is in a bit of a bunch formation here, and the snap is taken. The quarterback goes downfield with it, and wow, that we got a little. The pass was on point. It was incomplete. Did he throw a flag on that? Okay, no. I don't see any flag. Good coverage. We've got 2nd and 10 now with 7:26 remaining.
The refs are letting them play. We had the questionable call earlier. I'm kind of okay with it now. If we know that the refs are going to call it evenly all game, that's all you really request out of these guys. They're letting them play, though. There was surely some contact.
Number 7, Amir Reese, did get turned around a little, but I will say he did recover, and he did not make a lot of contact, and he had his head turned around looking for the ball.
As Niceville gets ready, the snap is taken. The ball is kept by the quarterback, who darts ahead for about a 3.5, maybe 4-yard gain.
Very good play call for the Eagles, and for Choctaw to hold it just to 3 yards is very impressive. I believe right down in there on the tackle is number 34 Boston Murray.
Yep, it's going to be 3rd down and a long 6 for the Eagles here at their own 39-yard line with 7:02 remaining at Eagle Stadium. The Indians are leading the Niceville Eagles 7-0. It looks like a flag was just thrown as a sideline warning for the Niceville Eagles, I believe.
And for those that are listening, that are either maybe listening for the first time or are not Choctaw fans listening, when we mention Boston Murray being the Sam Harrison Award winner, there is not a more prestigious honor you can receive at Choctawhatchee High School.
Absolutely. Sam Harrison, of course, killed in action in 2012 in Afghanistan. 1997 graduate of Choctawhatchee. The snap is away. 3rd down and long for Niceville. The quarterback doesn't even say, oh, wow, incomplete pass. Niceville quarterback took a heck of a hit, and he is on the ground. He did a cartwheel. He jumped in the air, did not see the player coming from his blind side. Choctaw, it was a clean hit.
Number 0, Ellis Alloway, took his legs out. Deegan McCoy is down, Gareth, and he is not moving. Helmet's off.
It looked gnarly, but Deegan McCoy, he jumped while he threw. You're kind of, bringing yourself susceptible to a rough hit. And when you got a guy like Ellis Alloway, you saw he hit him. He knew the throw was off target, and he went immediately to his guys in the student section, hyped them up, an incomplete pass. We're hoping Deegan McCoy's okay. We like winning games, so we got to make sure everyone stays healthy, and we got to see a great matchup as he goes to walk off the field.
He is walking off a little gingerly right now. He took a heck of a shot He didn't see Ellis Alloway coming from his blind side as he scrambled to his right. He released the pass while he was jumping in the air, and Ellis Alloway dove and took his legs out from underneath him, and he basically did a 180 in the middle of the air and kind of landed just super awkwardly. I imagine he had the wind knocked out of him, and it was just I hope he stretched before the game.
Yeah, I do too. But one thing you got to say, Gareth, if you think about the last four games and a quarter and a half, there's always a couple plays a game where Ellis says, "Hey, I'm not the only Mario's not the only Alloway out here on the field."
Ellis is averaging about 7.5 tackles per game.
Every single drive that we have played on third down, Ellis Alloway has had his name called as a huge player. I will say number 74 for Niceville, Jay Smith, the lineman, he did have quite a few words and maybe even a few shoves for Ellis Alloway. But I think the referees kind of recognized dude's protecting his quarterback. It was a rough hit. So no flag thrown, but otherwise Niceville's going to come out and punt the ball.
I was actually able to have dinner with Mario and Ellis Alloway's dad down in St. Augustine a couple years ago. Very good family, very good kids, very competitive kids, he said.
Very true. The snap goes over the punter's head, and the punter is scrambling and is tackled. German suplex, and the punter is brought down at the 18-yard line.
Make no mistake about it, that was a WWE belly-to-back suplex.
Absolutely.
It was Dante Whitby, who we've called his name in the backfield. He says, "I don't care if I get a carry. I'm going to pick you up, and I'm going to slam you."
18 yards to go for Choctaw as they move right to left on the radio dial. Get ready to take the ball. 1st and 10 from the 18 of Niceville.
And I tell you what, look down there. There's nobody in the stadium liking this more other than defensive coordinator Terrence Brooks.
The snap went over the punter's head. He did recover it. Look, for a second, he might have tried to do a rugby punt, but there was just no room, and he was just belly-to-back German suplex, WWE style, brought down to the 18-yard line.
And you know you have something special when our special teams comes out and everybody in the stadium is getting ready to see something they have never seen before. Beautiful tackle back-to-back by Ellis Alloway.
Choctaw on a little hurry-up offense. Keller still on the sideline.
The snap goes to Taman Zapatakis, and he hands it off to, it's a little jet sweep action.
Whitby.
To Dante Whitby, or that was number 6.
Legree.
That was
Legree, getting him involved in other ways in the passing game.
Yep.
That's what you do with your athlete.
And he busts ahead. He's right there at the line. It's going to be 2nd and short, maybe 2 yards to go.
You know, this game, Gareth, could easily be 10-0 with Choctaw driving.
It really could. I'm surprised it's not. I still don't understand the angle. It must have just gone just over the upright. And
it would have been. It was a 37-yard field goal that I can tell you it would have been good from 45.
It would have been good for Shalimar as Taman Zapatakis approaches the line in the shotgun with Carter Morocco split to his right. Taman fakes the handoff to Morocco. He keeps it. He jets to his right, and he's got the first down and more. He's brought down at the 5-yard line of Niceville. It's going to be 1st and goal from the Indians at the 5-yard line.
And the option game is something that Choctaw's kind of moved on from in these blowout games they've been playing. But they have a really, really brutal quarterback duo, whether it's Morocco in, whether it's Taman in. The option is so versatile for them. These quarterbacks know how to run. They know how to cut. They know how to run people over. And especially at a place like the goal line, do not be surprised to see a few carries by the quarterbacks.
Let's not turn the ball over here. Let's play disciplined football. It is 1st and goal from the Indians. 5 yards to go. 5:10 remaining in the clock. And the snap goes to Carter Morocco. And there's a touchdown. Carter Morocco is handed the ball. He goes.
There's going to be a flag on the play.
And it looks like it might be against Choctaw based off of the lack of celebration.
It appears to be number 24, Brody Brechtel.
Maybe lined up in the neutral.
Or 22, I'm sorry.
There's a touchdown. The touchdown is good. I'm not sure what it looks like. Maybe whatever the penalty was is going to be called.
For what it's worth, I've seen Brechtel with a few push and shoves so far, and it came from his side of the field.
It was extracurricular activity. Luckily, it was after the goal line was crossed. The penalty will be assessed on the kickoff. And I'm a little surprised here after the missed field goal that Niceville doesn't choose to have the penalty assessed on the extra point.
That's very true because the point after is about to come from the 10-yard line where it normally would, and our kicker our Polish kicker kicks the ball, and Choctaw has taken a 14-0 lead. They're going to run out of confetti before we know it. It sticks to our faces. I think one just landed in my diet soda, which I got here from the visitors' concession stands, which we're right next to. We're being surrounded by people waiting in line for hot dogs. Diet Coke and cheeseburgers at Eagle Stadium.
How does red one get in here?
Oh no, get that out of here. One thing I talked to Beasley about the penalty yards, he said a lot of them aren't procedural, they're emotional.
They're
You got
emotions.
to keep your emotions, and we know the tensions are high against Niceville, and they're going to incite. They're down by 2 touchdowns now. They're going to do a little bit of pushing and shoving. You have to stay controlled. Stay composed. Do not give them yards that they do not deserve.
Well, Brady, I agree with you. Frank Beasley's never going to be happy with a 15-yard unsportsmanlike penalty, or any penalty for that matter, but I think he's going to like the fact that the touchdown did count.
Absolutely.
Niceville will get good field position out of this.
Yeah, the Indians are going to be kicking it off from their own 25-yard line. So I didn't see what the extracurricular activities were, but like you said, we're very happy that it happened after the play was over. And I did fumble my words a little bit on that touchdown. I want to be clear that Taman Zapatakis was at quarterback, and he handed the ball off to Carter Morocco, who jetted to his right for about a 5-yard touchdown run. So I think that's his 5th touchdown on the year. Carter Morocco is leading the team in...
That is Carter Morocco's 5th touchdown of the year.
Swiss Army knife is what he's known as among our student body. A lot of the Spirit Boys, myself included, we're all great friends with Carter. We all talk about, man, are you going to get the ball here? What's the snap count going to look like for running backs? And, obviously Keller came out earlier because of an injury. It is such a luxury to have a guy of that caliber go out and immediately fill his position with a guy like Carter Morocco, who right now, he has a rushing touchdown, and in 5 carries, he has 45 yards.
We're going to get a look at the power of our kicker, Galkowski's leg, as he's going to kick it off from the 25-yard line. Let's see how much muscle he can put into it, and he does put a boot into it. The ball is caught at the 20-yard line by Niceville with room to go, and their receiver takes it ahead for about a 14-yard gain. Niceville is going to have the ball on their own 33-yard line to begin their 4th possession of this ball game, as the Indians are leading 14-0 with 4:54 left at the second quarter at Eagle Stadium.
Great downfield coverage and tackle by number 23, Tyshawn Montgomery, a backup cornerback, just a sophomore. Good to see underclassmen in there making plays in such a big game. This is standing room only.
Yeah, and what we're seeing on Choctaw aren't just tackles. Special teams defensively, they are driving these guys. They are playing physical football, and they are really wear and tearing this Niceville offense.
And it looks like a timeout has been called on the field, and with that, we are also going to step away and listen to some words from our commercial sponsors. Thank you so much for tuning in to Choctawhatchee Big Green Indians football on FM 94.3 WFTW. And welcome back to Eagle Stadium. Choctaw leads Niceville 14-0. During that last commercial break, Niceville did get one play off for it was a rush for about 2.5 yards. They have it 2nd and 7 on their own 34-yard line, moving left to right on your radio dial. Snap is away. Niceville quarterback scans the field. He's got time. He's facing pressure now. The pass is complete. Immediate tackle made by Jabari Weeks.
Jordan Figueroa,
our own punter, with that incredible. That's our punter.
I said physical tackling. Figueroa, it was a little hitch that he caught it on. Figueroa right behind him, drove into him. He let him know he was there.
Not only that, but he hit him so hard, that was an incomplete pass. I didn't even realize that. I thought that it was a completed pass and just a hell of a tackle, but he actually knocked the ball loose.
It is good to see number 11, Deegan McCoy, back in there for Niceville after that brutal shot he took on the last series.
Yeah, you never want to see anything like that. 3rd down and long for the Eagles. Quarterback is brought down. It is a 10-yard loss. Sack. You got to wonder if Deegan, there's a late penalty right there. I'm not sure what it was, but it had to have been against the Indians.
Beasley is
number 20, number 2, Mario Alloway is going to get called with a late hit.
That could be a sideline warning that they just called right here. I'm not entirely sure.
I'll take that.
All right, so both teams have had their first sideline warning called. The next time that happens, I believe it's a 15-yard penalty.
That will not give Niceville the automatic first down, not being a personal foul. Choctaw looking to get the ball inside Niceville territory in this drive, Gareth.
Yeah, this is going to be 4th down at about 23. Brody Brechtel lined up at his own 45-yard line.
Yeah, so shout out Jordan Long. That was a cornerback blitz, and after he got out of the pocket, it was amazing composure to get the quarterback. And Beasley red as a tomato. He was very mad about maybe a lack of composure there. Let's see Choctaw score one more time. We got 4 minutes left in the half.
I do see girls head coach Don Brown down on the sidelines really getting the players to take 2 steps back.
Snap is away. It is almost blocked by the Indians.
Shank.
Straight up in the air. Brechtel makes the catch in Eagles territory at the Eagles' own 40-yard line. And how was there no flag called on that? You've got to have a 2-yard window. He fair caught that, and how was that not kick-catching interference?
That was very, very blatant kick-catch interference. You don't expect a lot of those calls at Eagle Stadium. To see adversity you got to go through.
Well, facing it pretty well. It's 14-0. What can you say?
14-0, and not only that, but you can't really make a case that Choctaw hasn't checked all the boxes they needed to check so far tonight.
I think the real telltale sign here is if Choctaw can either score or kill out the rest of the half with Niceville set to get the ball to start the second half.
And on that note, Brady, I want you to start stretching because we, as our student helper, third headset, we rely on you to, as the snap is away, Taman Zapatakis keeps it, darts to his right, and is actually brought down for a loss. That's a shoestring tackle by the linebacker from Niceville, who actually comes up lame afterwards.
That will be number 35, Dominique Ely, the 6'1", 200-pound junior. And it looked like Zapatakis had some room to run along the right side, so it really was a first down at least saving tackle.
Yeah, and I'm not really worried about the commute down to the field, but I'm more worried Beasley thinks I'm a player kind of encroaching on the sideline. I don't want him to get a little swingy, so I'll have to make my presence known.
If you keep showing that Beasley that speed, he might have you returning punts in practice next week, Brady.
I got to get a Kentucky Derby soundbite for you when you do this. Okay, so it's going to be 2nd and about 12 for the Indians as Taman Zapatakis takes the snap, hands it off to Carter Morocco. He has nowhere to go. Our offensive line just had no protection at all whatsoever, and we have a 3-yard loss. It's going to be 3rd down and 15 for the Indians. This is the slowest start of a possession that the Indians have faced so far this football game.
Well, though, Gareth, that was kind of a perfect storm for the Niceville defense. Choctaw ran a little bit of a delayed draw play up the middle to Morocco, right into the heart of an all-out blitz.
You have to wonder, is Choctaw going to play to try to get this first down, or is this 2-down territory? How do you think they're going to play this here?
They could be running down the clock, seeing that Niceville receives, and they're in their territory.
Very true. 2.5 minutes remaining. Brady starts stretching.
No sense in taking a big risk.
All right, and the snap is away. Taman Zapatakis does back up. He shoots it downfield. He did have an open receiver, but the ball is slightly overthrown. That's going to be Choctaw's first 3 and out of this game, and we're going to get to see our punter get a chance to pin them deep once again, as Figueroa is going to be punting the ball, receiving the ball to punt from his own 45-yard line.
Yeah, and I'm starting to think it's more of a defensive scheme for Niceville. Again, one safety deep there on a kind of obvious passing down. Zion Legree, I will give credit, it was kind of a timing route up the left sideline. He was jammed at the line, and you could tell the timing was off. Taman with a little bit of an overthrow. Good defense by the Niceville.
He appeared to have a step and a half on Teray Geiger, a 5'9" senior. The pass just a few yards over his head. It's going to bring up a punting situation for the Indians as the 2:19 remaining. And the only thing you don't like about that play call, Gareth, is that does stop the clock.
It sure does. Now, it looks like there was a 5-yard penalty assessed against Niceville. Of course, it's still 10 yards away from the first down marker. I'm not entirely sure what it was, but it does move Figueroa up 5 yards and a much better, more comfortable situation.
And let's keep an eye out. For the first time, Carter Morocco is an up back in the punt formation.
And the punt is away. Figueroa has incredible hang time. It does head for the sidelines, and it is fumbled by the Niceville receiver, and it is recovered. I can't see it from the opposite side of the field. Can't see yet. There's no signal been made, but it was definitely fumbled by the Niceville receiver, and there is a scrum, and no signal has been made yet.
It appears Niceville fell back on the ball.
Wow.
Sitting at the 13-yard line, about 14-yard line.
But I got to tell you, both of you guys, what right now, both teams have just gotten away with blatant catch interferences. These refs are letting them play ball like they should in a rivalry game.
I love it. It's physical, and everybody is getting loud. This is huge. The players running off the field, hyping up the crowd. Parents, students, everybody is involved.
And it looks like a dead ball foul has just been called, and it looks like maybe another sideline warning, perhaps.
Coach Beasley is absolutely furious right now. I don't think this bodes well for the Indians.
No, they're walking towards the Niceville friendly side of the field.
We can't be doing this at the end of the half like this. We've got 2 minutes and 7 seconds left. We cannot be giving 15 free yards like that.
I can't stress it enough. You are put in a situation in football where sometimes you can go down. The other team can score 2 scores before you even get possession of the ball when they have the last possession of the first half and they receive the second half kickoff.
Yeah, no, I call it a double dip. When you score, receive, score again, it's a serious risk. And Beasley, you know he's big on composure. That's another composure foul. I'm going to ask him about that as one of my halftime questions.
And, Brady, that's why I wasn't big on the pass called on Legree, because that did stop the clock at 2 minutes.
You have to think that Niceville's looking downfield here in the shotgun formation. They got man in motion as they do a little jet sweep, and they hand it off to their slot receiver, who turns north-south and gets a 4-yard gain on first down. And there are 2 minutes left at Eagles Stadium. Niceville is hurrying to the line. The Eagles are down 14-0 to Choctaw.
Well, you got to think, Gareth, with 2 timeouts left and under 2 minutes on the clock, Choctaw's going to take that 4-yard gain in this
situation. Snap is away. Is a quick throw. It is an incomplete pass. 1:43 remains here in the second quarter. It's going to be 3rd down and 6 for Niceville.
Now, I think he read something in the seam there. He snapped it and immediately looked for his guy, just let him on a little bit too much. That was a very risky play. Could have been a 15-yard gain. Instead, an incomplete pass, 3rd and medium, and now 1:43 left on the clock in the half.
Yeah, that pass was intended for Niceville receiver Juan Carlos Pupo Buch. B-U-C-H.
Head for the mountains, but the ball was overthrown just a little bit.
Absolutely. As Niceville comes back to the line, it is 3rd and long. The snap is away, and the quarterback does complete the pass, and it is going to be a Niceville first down. It was a good open field tackle, but Niceville is going to move the chains. They still are on their side of the field, however. They're going to start 1st and 10 from their own 36-yard line with 1:32 remaining here in the second quarter at Eagle Stadium.
Well, I'll tell you what, Gareth, that was just a great play call. The screen pass of the freshman Gilliard against the blitz, that's a perfect play call in that situation.
The snap is away. They are in the hurry up, and their quarterback does throw it all the way downfield. He does have a man, and there was good coverage. The ball was a little bit overthrown. It is an incomplete pass.
Number 7, Amir Reese, is probably going to get called for defensive holding here on the pass.
I actually didn't see any laundry on that.
Yeah, it's sitting right over there kind of towards Beasley, right at midfield, and we know the refs have been letting them play, so you might get a little frisky.
That means another call. Yes, that's defensive holding. That's an automatic first down. That's going to move the chains.
But you will take that over pass interference.
Or a very large completed pass downfield. There was no deep safety there. Figueroa was playing in front of him. He could have had a touchdown there.
Now the clock will start on the ref's whistle. Niceville does have 2 minutes, 2 timeouts remaining. Only 1:13 left here. Kind of surprised they have not chosen to use either one of them.
Yeah, they're clearly in the hurry up. They're clearly trying to get as many yards as possible to get themselves on the other side of the field, perhaps into field goal position. It's imperative that the Choctaw defense stand tall and do what they're supposed to do here. The snap is away. The Eagle. It's a screen pass, and really there was no one there. The running back wasn't even ready for it.
Number 34, Boston Murray, actually had a chance to pick that ball off.
There was a lot of traffic in the trenches. The running back may have gotten caught up, and you kind of rely on your guy to be there. It's an anticipation throw, and when you kind of mess him up, the rhythm's off, and it's going to be an incomplete pass.
2nd down and 10. 1 minute and 7 seconds remains. Brady, I hope you're stretching. I hope you found your pathway to get to Coach Beasley. We need you. We love calling it when it happens, and I would think that maybe you after this play you might want to think about getting down there.
Yeah, we're in a bowl formation, so I'm excited. It's going to feel like an atmosphere of college football. I'm jumping off, running straight into the field.
As the snap is away, and the quarterback does have a little bit of time, and he shoots. Picked off, and he's still
7, Amir Reese.
Amir Reese, he's running to the opposite side of the field. He's breaking tackles, and he's still on his feet, and oh my goodness, he's at the 30. He's at the 25. He's brought down finally at the 20-yard line.
Amir Reese.
49 seconds remain here in the second quarter.
There's 11 players on Niceville. He may have broken 12 tackles. Huge return. He gets us all the way to the 20. 46 seconds left. We still have a chance to score some points.
And he's also down, unfortunately, but that is the play of the game.
And there's a flag now. 2 flags.
Number 54 for Niceville is definitely going to get a 15-yard personal foul for taunting, standing over an injured player.
Stand over him. You're down by 2 possessions. Grow up.
Well, here's the situation, ladies and gentlemen. The Indians of Choctawhatchee are up 14-0. It's 46 seconds remains in the second quarter. We do have Amir Reese down on the field after his interception. I believe that's the Indians' 11th interception on the season. It's a lot, ladies and gentlemen. That's a lot.
It's a rib. It looks to be clutching his right side, maybe the lower rib, which is not a good sign. It's a very painful injury that could nag you over the course of weeks. I'm not a doctor, but I've been around football enough to know.
And he's being helped off the field by Vontavious Keller, and
who knows a little bit about getting banged up.
Yep. That's a good sign that Vontavious is out there in a position to be able to allow Amir Reese to put all of his weight onto him as he makes his way to the...
And the penalty to be assessed. Now, Gareth, Brady, the question I'll pose to you guys here, with a 2-point lead and 46 seconds left.
14-point lead.
For a 2-score lead, sorry, and 46 seconds left. If you're Choctaw, do you rest on your laurels, or do you try to punch another one in knowing Niceville's receiving the second half kick?
Knowing your pass game's been so good, I'm not sure you shy away from it. I mean, you could hit a guy, but the run game's also a good anecdote.
Yeah, you're in tight once you're inside the 10, and there's not a lot of room to pass.
They come up in the pistol. Taman does hand it off to his slot receiver, and Zion Legree, number 6.
Number 6, Zion Legree, another case of finding him a way to get the ball without the pass.
That was the pistol formation, a little jet sweep action, and it's incredible the amount of different types of hands that touch the ball that have made an impact already. The Indians are up 20-0 on Niceville with 38 seconds remaining in the second quarter.
Yeah, PAT pending. I want to go back to that last play where Amir Reese picked it off. I'm going to light up a little dark situation with the injury. Ellis Alloway once again got a late hit on the quarterback. He's been pressuring all day, and I think it played a part in that interception. Ellis Alloway and the defense look good. The PAT is up, and it is good.
It is very good. Right down the center. The Indians take a 21-0 lead. Ever since the Gulf Shores game, the Indians have outscored their opponents 123-0.
And I'm going to be honest with you, it is so fun. Look at Beasley. Beasley's hyping up the parents. Oh, my gosh.
This is Friday night football.
We knew it was going to be a good game, but a 21-0 lead, this is like gut-punching the Eagles. And boy, have we wanted to do this for 13 years. This feels so good. I'm ready to get down there and feel some of Beasley's energy.
Well, Gareth, Brady, I don't need to remind either one of you guys, there's a lot of time left, but this is really feels good. And this atmosphere, this moment that you feel right now, you do not get from the NFL.
No, you don't. And the fact that we scored right before the end of the half, knowing that they're going to get the ball in the third quarter, it just feels right.
And when you know these guys, you know their stories. Everybody, especially Beasley, he's homegrown. He graduated from Choctaw. It feels so much better. And you know he wanted to come in here. He knows it's not a district game, but boy, to beat the Eagles, it'd be great. And there's a reason he's hyped up. There's a reason he's mad at these penalties. There's a reason he's telling the parents get loud. He feels it in his green blood that he wants to beat the Eagles. It is huge, up by 3 possessions. Absolutely beautiful football played on all facets, shooting on all cylinders, the Indians are.
It could be 24-0 had we not missed that weird field goal. I mean, it's important to ladies and gentlemen, if you've just tuned in, we need to set the stage here. Choctaw has dominated all facets of this game. They've only missed 1 field goal. They lead 21-0. They have forced punts on 4 separate possessions for Niceville football. I think Niceville's only had maybe 1 first down this entire game.
I do not think Niceville has entered Choctawhatchee territory on offense yet, have they, Brady?
The closest they got, I believe, was in the 40 last drive, and the only first down I can remember was in the very first drive.
And that's been the narrative of the year for the Choctawhatchee defense. The offense has just looked a little bit better than they have.
And the kick is away. You have to wonder if Niceville, with 2 timeouts remaining, are going to try to get some sort of movement up and down the field. The tackle is made at the 24-yard line.
That's number 8 right there on the tackle.
That's Ellis Alloway. His zero is folded.
Ellis Alloway. I was thinking Carter Morocco, and I think you guys both understand why I probably expected that, to do it all.
Yeah. The zero folded over. It's confused me quite a few times.
Yeah,
Brady, you might want to consider getting down there, my friend. There's 33 seconds remaining in Niceville. I'll tell you what, let's stick around for this next play. Let's see what Niceville does here, because this will dictate whether they're going to just go to the house or try to send it to the house.
One thing that's interesting is Deegan McCoy is not in at quarterback anymore. It is number 15, Thomas Radliff, 5'9" junior.
Either way, I'm going to go ahead and take the headset off and get ready to go. It looks like a timeout of some sort called by Terrence Brooks, it looks like.
That's fortuitous for you. You can race walk now.
That leads me to believe number 15 is possibly more of a running quarterback, and they're just going to try to maybe scramble around and hope he can break one here and not take any big risks. They know they're going to get the ball to start the second half, and then they know they're going to get a chance to shift the momentum back a little bit if they can come out and put a 7 on the board.
I'm actually pulling out my phone and videotaping, that's just used an old term, and videoing our third headset, Brady Brooks, as he jumps the barrier and runs almost like a crazed Super Bowl fan, trying to find his way to Coach Beasley. Boy, I really appreciate having him on the third headset.
He's been great, and on his way to catch Coach Beasley, he just stopped and hyped up the student section a little bit.
He's who I wanted to be in high school.
Absolutely.
I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now.
Now he makes us feel a little old,
He does.
But he's very, very, very good.
But he also keeps us young at the same time.
Absolutely. His 40 times much better than ours.
It sure is. As Niceville gets ready to take the snap, and it is their second-string quarterback in there again. Their freshman running back, Gilliard, darts ahead for a 5-yard gain. It does not look like they are stopping the clock, so as the time ticks away, 20 seconds remains here at Eagle Stadium, and it looks like the Indians are going to finish this half with another 2 quarters of shutout football, Kevin.
Yeah, that's going to bring the total to what, 15?
That's 15 straight quarters of shutout football.
That's also going to mean still has not allowed a point to an in-state team. But one thing I want to say, Choctaw's defense has done an amazing job against the freshman running back Gilliard, who's got 425 yards rushing in just 4 games. And I got a chance to see this kid play at Davidson Middle School last year, which is actually over in Crestview, and you knew right away that he was going to be a big play threat anytime he touched the ball.
Absolutely, as it looks like they did call timeout here with 13 seconds remaining. I'm not.
That 1.3 or 13?
Either way, it's looking good for the Indians, who have been clicking on all cylinders. The ball has barely been. I'm not sure that Niceville has even crossed into Choctaw territory.
They have not entered Choctaw territory. Number 15, Thomas Radliff, still in at quarterback for the Eagles.
You have to wonder what the backstory is there. You hope that their starter is okay. You never wish anything bad like that on anyone. As the pass is complete, and it is a hook and lateral, and Niceville does
ball with the fumble recovery.
3 seconds left on the clock. Niceville tried the hook and ladder, and it was intercepted by
number 12
and more laundry. So Choctaw with an excessive celebration.
It's your guy, Gareth.
Jalen Brazan with the turnover.
I don't know if that's going to count as a fumble recovery and interception, but it's his 3rd of the year.
I think it's going to be a fumble recovery just by virtue of the fact that it was a lateral that was basically picked off by Choctaw. So Niceville completed about a 20-yard reception. They completed 1 hook and lateral. The ball was advanced down the field. That player tried to lateral it backwards, and it was caught by our senior cornerback, Jalen Brazan, who has just done a fantastic job so far this season. He has fought tooth and nail to make it to the varsity. This is his first year having done so, and I gotta say, I taught this kid last year, and I'm just so proud of him.
You know, Gareth, I think about that every week. Just, the story you told about just not only what a quality student athlete he is, but the drive and the adversity he went through to be on varsity, and it's safe to say he is absolutely making the most of it through 4.5 games so far.
He's got a pick 6, he's got a regular interception, and he's got a fumble recovery. I guess we're going to call that what it is now. Either way, Choctaw has the ball with 3 seconds left, and they have 4 wide receivers. It looks like they're going to take a shot down the field here with 1 play left. Nope, and Taman Zabatakis takes the knee.
That's a smart play.
I agree. Choctaw has 15 straight quarters of shutout football, ladies and gentlemen, as they lead the Niceville Eagles 21-0 here at Eagle Stadium. Choctaw clicking on all cylinders. It's just a wonderful thing, ladies and gentlemen. Standing room only. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's just a joy to be here. This is the Big Green Indians Football Network on 94.3 WFTW. We are going to take a break to listen to some of our sponsors. This halftime is sponsored by Budden Alleys over in Seaside. Dave Rauschgab, class of 1979. Thank you so much for being a sponsor of the remaining halftimes for the remainder of the season for Choctawhatchee football. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. We'll be back with you shortly with some halftime analysis. Welcome back to Eagle Stadium, ladies and gentlemen. The Choctawhatchee Style Marchers are getting ready to take their field for the halftime entertainment, and we are going to be beginning our halftime analysis. Colin Bester of Mid-Bay News has brought his expertise over to our table here, and we are set up on the visitor side of Eagle Stadium. Choctaw leading the Eagles 21-0. Colin, I do have to tell you, you have to eat that microphone. You basically have to make out with it. Look at those levels right there. And Colin, thank you so much for joining us here. What can you tell us about what you've seen so far this evening?
I was at this is my 3rd Choctaw game so far that I've been at, and it's reminding me a lot of what I saw versus Navarre and, what I saw versus Pine Forest last week. The only difference is against Pine Forest last week, you guys were held to 14 points before halftime. Now you're up 21-0 at the Eagles' Nest. It's not an easy place to play. I don't know if you heard that student section over there, but that is one of the most energetic student sections I've ever seen, and this is my first time here at the Eagles' Nest. But Choctaw came to play.
They sure did.
And I think what we saw is, I think what really hurt is Von Keller went out in the second half. Seth Stringer Here's also here with the Daily News as well. But Von Keller came out. Carter Morocco stepped up. Taman Zabeka's actually had some nice throws, especially one passing touchdown, I think.
Poised, very composed, some of the best throws that we've seen all season from this gentleman.
Yeah, so it looks like he actually stepped his game up. It looks like Carter Morocco stepped in and filled up for Von Keller. But it's going to be a very interesting second half for these Choctaw Indians because right now, what are we? Before this game, it was 13 straight quarters without a score.
15 straight quarters.
So this defense is one of, I think, the best defenses in North Florida. Your Choctaw Indians won Player of the Week. The whole defense won Player of the Week from Mid-Bay News. So you guys are continuing what you saw, and it looks like at this rate 5-0 for the Choctaw. The outcome of tonight's game, but there's still a second half of football left to play.
There is, and if we learned anything from last week, is that a lead of this magnitude is not insurmountable.
No, it's not. I mean, Niceville can make adjustments. Last week, we saw Niceville make the wrong adjustments, and that's what really hurt them against Crestview. Can they make the right adjustments now and possibly pull a Crestview of their own, coming back down 21-0, and possibly have a winning season? Because I don't know what it's going to be like leaving Niceville 5 weeks into the season and having a 2-3 record.
Very good. Thank you so much for joining us tonight, Colin Bester. It's been a pleasure. Colin Bester of Mid-Bay News. He's here for the game of the week at Niceville Eagle Stadium. Choctaw is leading 21-0 against Niceville, and we've got another guest here. Seth Stringer from the Northwest Florida Daily News is going to step in, and I'm actually going to hand my headset over to Brady, who will follow up after Seth with his analysis from Coach Beasley.
I'm glad to have you on. You were the first person I thought of this year that I wanted to get on the air. If you missed it, he is the sports editor for the Northwest Florida Daily News. Just tell us a little bit about what you've seen so far in the first half. What surprised you? What hasn't surprised you?
So I've been here for 15. This is my 15th matchup. I got here in 2012 when Dominic Jordan hit the field goal and Choctaw won. So I was thinking, this is a normal rivalry. And then I've been to 13 straight Niceville wins.
Right.
I picked Choctaw in the paper, 21-14. Maybe again I underestimated the defense, but I'm more impressed tonight by everybody seeing how good Carter Morocco and Jordan Figueroa are.
Yeah, and we've talked about Jordan Figueroa all year, and we talked about Carter Morocco. When you lose a running back like Von Keller, and there's just minimal, if any, drop-off with Carter Morocco, that's got to be a huge asset for Coach Beasley.
Yeah, I was praising Zabatakis, and tonight they're really putting him in good situations to throw the ball. But then you see Carter, you just see the X factors Choctaw has. When Jordan Figueroa is flipping the field, he coffin cornered the 1 yard line, the right to start it off. Then he put it in the 10-yard line, and then every time, and Niceville's starting off in their own red zone. They can't score on this defense. 99 yards.
That's just such a lethal weapon to have. The way he gets the ball to turn over at a high school level every kick is very impressive.
I was so disappointed when I didn't know anything about Taman, and I thought Carter was not the quarterback. The way that they're using him at fullback right now, I love it.
Yeah.
Get the kid the ball.
And I reminded everybody that Carter did start the first 5 games at quarterback last year, played extremely well, went 4-1 with the only loss, of course, coming to Niceville. But, just what a weapon to have. You can put him at quarterback, running back, wide receiver. You can put him on special teams. You can put him on defense. He's going to be a threat to make a play anywhere he is.
When I look at a great team, I recognize how they tackle and the penalties they give up. Choctaw is tackling everybody tonight, not committing any penalties. They're just disciplined.
Right.
Terrence Brooks and Fuller had them disciplined, which is something that we always haven't seen from Choctaw. But this team is just bullying them. I mean, this could be a running clock within a few minutes of the third quarter.
And you want to see that if you're a Choctaw fan, but you also want to see that because that gives you the best chance to get out of a game like this healthy. But Seth, to shift gears a little bit, let's not just talk Choctaw, Niceville. You cover the entire Panhandle. You see a lot of football. Is there a player, a team, anything you can give Choctaw fans that don't have the exposure to some of these other Panhandle teams? Anything you can say about that, somebody that sticks out to you or a team?
I really like Baker. I like Justice Baldwin over at Baker. They beat Destin pretty easily. They're 4-0. Matt Brunson needed a couple years to get back. He got back last year, inherited a group of players. Now he got him in the gym.
Yeah.
I just think it's great for rural football when Baker is competing at Thanksgiving in the Final Four. So Justice Baldwin, they're throwing the ball 200 again. Baker.
Yeah.
Baker is a wing T. Now they're like a wing eye spread attack. So good for Baker.
It's a great story with an alum as head coach.
Yeah.
Brunson won, I believe, was a part of 4 straight state championships with Baker. And much like I talked about with Coach Beasley, when you hire an alum, I just feel like they have a little bit extra motivation to bring the program to where it was or better than it was.
And that's something I've seen from Choctaw recently in hiring an alum and getting these guys back, and not just hiring, teachers that coach basketball and do other sports. Just because it's like a good old boys network.
Right. It's like Coach Beasley said. Choctaw has played in 10 playoff games in 3 seasons, 3 straight 10-win years, 2 straight district titles, 3 straight regional finals appearances. That's never been done here before.
No, and if this ain't the best Choctaw team I've ever seen, I mean, just right there in 2014.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right there would compete with Armwood for a place in the state title game.
Just Hicks came up a yard or 2 short on that, or Choctaw would have been playing for a state championship under Coach Thomas.
Yeah, exactly.
But Seth, I really appreciate you coming on. I hope you can come back up. I'm sure you'll be covering more games of Choctaw this year, so anytime you're welcome to come up, and we love to hear from you.
It's my 4th game covering Choctaw. I know y'all are having fun tonight.
Yeah, it's been great. Let's just hope we can keep it up for 24 more minutes. Thanks for coming up.
All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and turn on Gareth's mic. Probably a lot of us have heard me all year. I don't really have to yell. I'll speak very briefly on what Beasley talked to me about, because it was very brief. He was kind of high on emotions, and he was very respectful. He answered a few questions for me. First thing I asked him, Niceville's the toughest opponent so far. You're up 21-0. You're undefeated. How do you keep your guys' heads in the game? He said you have to keep your emotions in check. He even referenced himself. He's hot-headed. His players are hot-headed. He's going to go in there. Before you even talk about keeping your foot on the gas, make sure you don't get stupid penalties. Keep your emotions in check. And then right after that, he said, I'm sorry, man. I got to cool down. I got to go. I don't want to, bust off on you. And I was like, you know what? Okay, that's okay. So I'm gonna talk very briefly about some statistics that I've got down so far. Let's go to the passing game first. Taman Zapatakis, 9 for 12 in the air. It's looked very good. 94 yards so far, and then 9 rush yards. So he's just over 100 all-purpose yards. In the running game, Keller had 4 touches for 13 before he ended up evacuating. And then Morocco, 6 carries, 42 yards, and a touchdown on the ground so far. You go into the receiving game at Zon Legree, ahead of the receivers so far. 5 receptions, 67 yards, and then he has 10 yards via jet sweep. He had a 10-yard touchdown. So he's got 2 touchdowns total, 1 in the air, 1 on the ground. DJ Spence has 2 catches for 40 yards. Amir Reese, 1 reception for 20 yards, and Brody Brechtel, 1 reception for 3 yards as well. Overall, the pass game has looked very, very primary compared to other games. Carter Morocco has also looked very reliable from the RB2 spot on the depth chart and running on the ground.
Yeah, it's been just an incredible football game so far. Thank you so much for your analysis, and thank you to Coach Beasley for allowing us to get on the field and to get that insight. It still amazes me that you're able to get all that stuff on your phone. The first time I was talking to him at our first game a couple weeks ago, bring something to write on and something to write with. And he's like, okay, but can I not do that and just put it on my phone anyway? And I was like, sure, let's not reinvent the wheel. Go ahead and do it. Whatever's easiest for you. And dude, you have not reinvented the wheel. In fact, you need to teach me how to make my wheels look like yours, because I don't know how you get all of those statistical analysis that quick on your phone like that.
Well, the first game, Google Excel. I'm going to shout out Google Excel. It may not be a sponsor, but without them, I'd be nowhere. I kind of set that up last game after I caught myself scrambling in game 1, and that's been really helpful. It's just kind of about keeping track. I usually have enough time to go down, what happens, look up, and I'm ready for a next play. So very fast paced, but that's what I'm about. I'm a fast paced guy. I love keeping up with it. I love football, and there's nothing to complain about. I'm very, very blessed to be out here calling this game. I'm having a lot of fun tonight. Up 21-0 on the Big Dogs. It's very, very enjoyable with you guys up here.
We are all blessed to be out here, and we are blessed to have you with us, Brady. We're very thankful that Coach Thigpen, Choctawhatchee's athletic director, recommended you to us, because it's almost like you were with us during the entire offseason. You have blended in so well. Your analysis is on point. You don't allow dead air to happen. You wait your turn. I admire the hell out of the job you've done so far, and the feedback I've gotten from passersby and just throughout the week has been just great for you, my friend. I guess what I'm trying to say is thank you. We appreciate your contributions, brother.
Yeah, I appreciate it, and I touched on it a little bit. This is what I want to do when I grow up. So, looking for a little internship spot, it was really nice to get the little offer here, text from you, ask questions from Thigpen, and I appreciate all the flowers, but overall, this isn't my final stop. I admire you guys and what you're doing for Choctaw football. It's very traditional, but man, if I could get into like Fox Sports, ESPN, that's the awful end goal. And you touched on people, passing by and everything. They've really enjoyed it. It's been really good. And 21-0, you wish you could see more passes because it's really fun watching them throw it up. We'll probably see a little bit more hone in on the run game. I'm sure Morocco will get more carries. Maybe Whitby gets a carry or two. But you don't really have any wrong answers when you're thinking about opening up the playbook if you're Choctaw.
I just want to point something out here real quick. Choctaw has not been scored upon since the third quarter of week 1. So we are approaching 4 complete games of shutout football as we tick down to the end of halftime.
So I'll comment, Kevin, shout out to you. You pulled up the, of course, WERs here, and they take more official stats than I can. I kind of take some guesstimates. I might be off for a stat or two. But we look at Friday Night Rivals. They put up their halftime stats. Rushing, Choctaw dominates. Receiving yards, Choctaw dominates. It's 81-17 in favor of Big Green. On rushing, 76-12 in favor of the Indians. Receiving, total yards from scrimmage, Choctaw at 157. Niceville at 29. Turnovers in favor of Choctaw, 0-2. One thing that has seemed to have been a pretty consistent problem for the Indians, penalties. 7 penalties, 2. In favor of Niceville, they've had only 2 penalties to Choctaw 7. The yards, 75 yards of penalties. That is almost 3 times the total yards from scrimmage Niceville has.
I think the big storyline going into the second half is going to be the health of Amir Reese and Vaughn Keller for Choctaw and quarterback Deegan McCoy for Niceville.
Very true. Niceville has a 3-touchdown deficit that they need to overcome. As we know, that's not insurmountable. The Crestview Bulldogs came back from a 4-touchdown deficit just last week at this very stadium. So let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But, Kevin, you're absolutely right. They do have 21 points that they need to make up, and they could be doing that with their backup quarterback.
We talk about offense, we talk about defense, we talk about standout players, but I think the big story of this game is the fact that the halftime performance was the first time we've heard Niceville's fight song tonight.
Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
I think that says everything you need to know about the first half of this football game.
Best way to go into this, you got a new half of football coming up. It's got to be 0-0. Niceville's going to receive the ball first. Nothing would make a bigger impact, and I don't think there's going to be another chance in the game to flip the winning percentage over than if they get a stop on the first drive and force Niceville to give the ball back to Choctaw down by 3 possessions.
And not to be the bearer of bad news, but I was just informed just a few minutes ago, the running back Vaughn Keller for Choctaw very doubtful to return tonight. Brady, do your young eyes, which are much better than ours, do you have eyes on number 7? Amir Reese. One injured on that amazing interception.
Now I'm seeing somebody get stretched up over by the end zone. Maybe that's Amir. No, that's not him. I see Amir. He's in the end zone.
Okay, he is not looking good.
No, he's still suited up. Okay,
it looks like a hamstring or possibly a groin from here.
It's something on the right side.
It doesn't look like Amir is going to be back in the game unless there's a miracle whisperer.
Yeah. A miracle. But I think we can all agree this first drive of the second half is really going to be the telltale drive of the rest of the game, Gareth.
It sure is. It sure is. And the Indians are getting ready to kick off, leading the Eagles of Niceville 21-0. The kick is away.
Best kick of the night.
It is caught at the 5-yard line, and there's not much real estate for him to run. He does get about a 10-yard return. He's going to be up to about the 18-yard line. The Indians have
another Indian down. Right back up quickly. That is number 12, Jalen Brazan. With we're still not clear if that's going to be credited as an interception or a fumble recovery in the first half, but it's going to be credited as a turnover, forced, caused, and recovered.
Yeah, and when you have kind of a dipsy-do play like that, there's not really a way you can coach it. So it's really good to be on your feet, mentally aware, and ready to get the ball no matter where it was.
Choctaw defense gets ready to take the field. The Choctaw team has outscored their opponents in the last 15 quarters 112-0.
McCoy is not in the game at quarterback.
But you wonder if they're going to go straight at number 18, who's in the game for Alante Reese.
And their handoff goes to their freshman running back, Gilliard, who squirts ahead for about 7 to 8 yards on first down. It's going to be second and short for they've actually put him down. It's going to be 2nd and 4.
Just hard-nosed running by the 14-year-old freshman. A great line surge over there by number 74, the left tackle. And that whole left side of the Niceville offensive line that was their best run of the night.
There's an Indian down. That's Amir Reese. He's on the field. He just got up from the
I wonder if Amir was overselling that injury.
Well,
at the
if
end
he
of the
came
half.
in and went back down, it's almost like the Deegan McCoy. He got hurt, came in for one play, and went right back out.
He's got a little bit of a wince, and to play in a game like this when you just got injured, it shows what kind of a ball player he is. He wants to be out there helping his guys.
Got an open man down here that's not safe.
lot of
Hopefully
time
he
to
doesn't
throw.
find him. And okay, so the catch is made by Niceville, and he's brought down shy of the first down marker. 3rd down and 3. But we are lucky that the backup quarterback for Niceville did not see the open receiver down here because he had him all day.
You know, number 10, Jabari Weeks, right there, I don't know if you guys know, has really faced a dilemma. He read it, and I could tell he thought about jumping the route and going for a pick six, but he knew there was nobody behind him if he wasn't successful.
You got to love that
I think he made the smart play.
I know his mother, Dominique, is very proud of him. As Niceville takes the snap, the catch is made, and it looks like we're going to be really close to a decision by Niceville. I'm not sure they got the first down on that. It was 3rd and about 3. I think they might have gotten 2. They did get it. They are moving the chains.
No measurement from this one. The chain's going to move. It's going to be a 1st and 10. And you know, Gareth, Niceville really has a chance to come out, get some confidence, put some ports on the board, get settled in, and maybe change the face of this game.
They only got a total of 2 first downs in that first half, and they just got their first down of this second half. And it looks like a little bit of movement on front. Did they call that dead, or was that
Ellis Alloway with the tackle for loss?
Gilliard just bottled up, averaging over 6 yards a carry on the season with 5 touchdowns. He's definitely been held in check up to this point tonight by Alloway and the rest of this Indian defense.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10 for Niceville. They have 4 wide receivers. The backup quarterback is in. Gilliard split to the right. The quarterback has a little bit of time. He is brought down at the same time he throws, and it is an incomplete pass. The ball sails out of bounds. It's going to be 3rd down and 10 for Niceville with 9:41 remaining in the third quarter. Choctawhatchee leading 21-0.
You know, Gareth, despite the incompletion there, with the first down, the big run, he's not under as much pressure as he was in the first half. I think Niceville's offensive line was most likely challenged at halftime, and they look like they've responded a little bit better than they did in the first half.
And I noticed they kind of called a designated rollout, which we've seen Pacheco call for Taman some. It's to, avoid pressure, prepare for panic. That's what I'm seeing out of their offense so far.
You wonder if we're going to see Deegan McCoy again tonight. Radliff's still in the game for the Eagles.
Radliff takes his pass, and it's almost picked off.
Jordan Long coming in for Reese and making a play.
Boy, you love to see that because from one frame, it looked like that was a wide-open receiver. And the closing speed of Jordan Long to break up that pass, to cause the incompletion. Niceville is going to have to punt. It's 4th and 10. They only made it to their own 30-yard line, and we've got Brody Brechtel getting ready to receive the kick, standing at his own 40-yard line. You couldn't have asked for a better start for the second half for Choctawhatchee.
Coach Don Brown certainly liked that down, and they're a very successful girls basketball coach. A lot of people don't know this, played for the Cincinnati Reds organization.
Snap is away. The kick is up. It's good. Fair catch called for, and it is caught at the 46-yard line of Choctawhatchee, who will be moving right to left on the radio dial. They are almost into Eagles territory. They are leading the Eagles 21-0 here at Eagles Stadium with 9:26 remaining in the third quarter.
Yeah, so earlier on that last drive, before the new set of downs on that 3rd down play, Amir Reese did come off the field limping. We did not see him for the rest of the drive, and it's good to see grit that he's healthy enough to play if necessary. But like I said, especially if you go down and score again, you don't need to risk stressing up the guys that you already have injured.
As Choctaw comes out, it looks like Dante Whitby is lined up to the right of Taman Zabatakis, getting ready to take his the handoff is fake to Whitby, and the pass is completed to DJ Spence, who turns around and turns on the Jets, and he gets a 35-yard reception. He caught that about 12 yards. Past the line of scrimmage and ran it for about 20 afterwards. Turned on the Jets. Great pass and reception. Choctaw's going to have 1st and 10 at the Niceville 15-yard line.
And an even better play call, because after that stop, this is a drive where you expect the team in this scenario to come out, run the ball, pound it at you, and try to shove it down your throat and punch it in the end zone. And to call a long pass downfield like that's a great play call.
Snap is away. The handoff is given to
that
Dante
looks like
Whitby.
Dante Whitby.
And he is brought down maybe a 1-yard gain.
One thing Choctaw has on their side is time. The clock is our friend. And there's nothing wrong with a 1-yard gain in this situation.
Yeah,
As
and
long as we
honestly,
bleed every second.
yeah,
They're in the red zone. There's no reason to take a shot.
Yeah, and football tells you
Risk.
run the ball a lot, and obviously I'm not saying throw the ball here. Like you said, you're in the red zone, but when you're looking at the overall offense, Niceville has a run aggressive type look. So if you're going to get the shot downfield, you might as well take it.
8:36 remains in the third quarter as the Indians come to the line. Taman Zabatakis in the shotgun. Looks like Dante Whitby is still in there, line to his right, and the snap is away, and the pass is dropped by
number 9, Nick Ladson, I believe.
Yeah, that was Nick Latson. Looks like they tried to hit him with a quick slant. Would have been a gain of about.
Who does have 2 touchdown receptions on the season, but I did not see him last week against Pine Forest or the week before against Crestview.
No, he was on the field last week. However, I will say, just off memory, I know last week for sure he did not have any reception.
Right.
That puts Choctaw into a 3rd and long situation, 3rd down and 9, but they are in the red zone at their own about 14-yard line with 8:23 remaining in the third quarter, leading the Eagles of Niceville 21-0. Taman Zabatakis in the shotgun. And the snap is away, and he's running out of time, but he does have a wide-open receiver who does catch the ball, and it looks far enough for the first down for me. DJ Spence, first down, Choctawhatchee. It's going to be first, and it's either first and goal or 3rd and short. Are they moving the chains? It is first and goal for the Indians from the 5-yard line. Boy, this is, you couldn't ask for more, really, other than maybe the field goal that was missed, but we're pulling at straws there.
Well, when you got a 3-score lead in the second half, there's nothing wrong with field goals, and I think we all would like to see him get his first field goal of the year out of the way. Get the skunk out of the boat.
And the snap is away. Choctaw is in their favorite formation. The handoff goes to the running back who darts ahead. Oh my Lord, Dante Whitby lowers the shoulder and
just absolutely ran over Justice Parker Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was a
statement made.
Irresistible force meeting an immovable object.
Yeah,
right
and
there.
I will say, Whitby, he's fast. He may have had a route, and he said, no, I see you on the goal line. It's not just 21-0, but I will out-physicality you. He ran him over, lowered his shoulder. Whitby, who we saw make that amazing slam tackle on special teams, scores the 6th. Another 7th point put up by Galkowski. 28-zip. Big green.
With that extra point, the Indians have scored 119 unanswered points.
They have yet to give up a point to a team in the state of Florida that have not given up a point since the 11-minute mark of the third quarter of week 1. You can't say enough about Coach Brooks and his defense.
Coach Brooks, Coach Pacheco, Coach Beasley, Coach Neely. I know I'm leaving folks out, but this is a whole picture here. This is a complete team. This is a complete unit. This is just fun. This is fun to be a part of.
I know, and we were talking to for Northwest Florida Daily News, excuse me, and he was talking about this could be the greatest Choctaw team I've ever seen, and we haven't seen a lot of change. Obviously, the offense got bolstered some, but this year it has really been the defense. Terrence Brooks has had a huge culture change. We know he coached for Niceville 2 years ago. He came over to Choctaw last year. He has looked so physical. And in regards to last drive, we obviously ran it in. It was a touchdown on the ground. But huge shout-out, Taman and DJ Spence. He had 2 receptions for, I believe, about 45 yards. A huge 40-yard gain on a little post almost, and he had plenty of yards after the catch. DJ Spence, who's been relatively quiet all year, had a huge drive right there with Taman. Both of them look very good.
I will say this. It's standing room only here, but I'll say that our view just got a little bit better because we had a row full of Niceville fans in front of us, and it looks like they may
beating the traffic.
They may be trying to beat the crowd out of here. I got to say, if Choctaw scores one more touchdown, we're going to have a running clock, ladies and gentlemen.
Which is something that Northwest Florida sports editor Seth Stringer alluded to at halftime.
Very true. I think our fans on this side are running out of confetti. We might need to go scrape some off the ground for our next score here because it's just littered with green. And the kickoff is now taking place. The ball has been caught at the 8-yard line of Niceville, and their receiver drives it up to the 19-yard line. So terrific special teams coverage.
Outplayed. That was tremendous cut by the return man. Tremendous way to kick it outside the hashes. The coverage was just too good.
The special teams is special. We compliment the defense, but every single time our kickoff return guys, our kickoff defense guys, our punt return, punt defense, They always make an impact, and it's so much easier when your opponent's starting inside their own 20 or when you're starting on your own 40. It's such a game changer that you won't really see reflected too much.
You know what? We got a few seconds here, guys. I want to give a shout out. We got a lot of happy alum that I've been getting texts from listening. We got class of '97 offensive lineman Bill Natexburn turning in. Former captain of the Indianettes, class of 2002, Caitlin Roberts listening, cheering on the Indians as well.
Yes, thank you so much for your support. As we were talking about that, a play did take place. Niceville did complete a pass for a first down. I think it's their fourth first down of the game. The Indians do have a defensive player that is favoring his leg. It's number 35, but he's staying out on the field. So Niceville approaches the line. It's 1st and 10. They've got their backup quarterback in, and he's brought down for a sack. That's great. So that's about a 5-yard loss for the Indians.
And how apropos is it? Ellis chased him down, and while he wasn't looking from his blind side, his brother Mario Alloway slams him down. A huge double half sack by
that backfield was the city of brotherly love for the Alloway brothers.
Call this Philadelphia South. But, I was just going to say, it looks like that Radliff and the offensive line were starting to get their legs under him a little bit with some good completions until that play.
Well, it is 2nd down and about 15 for the Eagles as the snap is away.
Picked off
by Jabari Weeks. Jabari Weeks, number 10, Dominique. That is your boy right there, leading the linebacker crew. We haven't called his name too much tonight, but he got his interception at the Niceville game.
And I've been talking about how good Terrence Brooks has been for these guys, but you don't do it without the players, without the talent. We've seen Jordan Long balling out. His name doesn't get called too much. Jabari Weeks as a linebacker. He gets in on tackles, but he's not a primary guy. He was on coverage there on a guy running a drag. He saw the underthrow. He adjusted. He got the pick. Huge play by number 10, Jabari Weeks. And Choctaw has the ball back. You can take 3 here. That's the most beautiful thing. You'd love a touchdown. You'd love to get greedy, but it's possible, and it is almost encouraged to get yourself some form of points.
The Indians are going to take over at the 37-yard line, and I got to say, with a 28-0 lead, if they're able to put some points on here with a touchdown, it'll be a running clock.
After the last 13 years, Choctaw with a running clock against Niceville, even being a possibility, was absolutely the most foreign concept in my mind, Gareth.
I still don't even know how to approach it because we know that Crestview came back from a 4-touchdown deficit last week, so let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But you got to love the situation that Choctaw is in as they get ready to have their second possession of the second.
And we know Niceville's capable.
All right, and so you're going to take it from their 36-yard line. We've got Zabatakis in the shotgun, 4 wide receivers, and Zabatakis throws it downfield, and he has a receiver wide open and brought down at this 4-yard line.
That is going to be number 4. Is that number 9? Gladson again.
You say wide open, but the pass was a little under. He went above his head, and he snatched it off his helmet. A huge, I believe that's a 34-yard gain.
You're right. Let me correct myself. The ball was a little bit underthrown, but he made himself wide open by coming back for the ball and jumping up. And there's a direct snap to Dante
Whitby, the Wildcat.
And he is brought down after about a 2-yard gain, perhaps. The Indians are threatening to score their 5th touchdown.
The Indians are 2 yards away from a running clock at Eagle Stadium, Garrett. That sounds so weird coming out of my mouth.
I see people.
The Niceville faithful is heading to the gate.
Dude, that's oh my goodness. I know that our view just got a little clearer.
Yeah.
So here, and there's another direct snap to Dante Whitby, who rushes ahead. There wasn't much. And there's
He's
a touchdown.
in, and we got a running clock
play
after the extra point.
Right now, Choctaw has taken a 34-0 lead against the Eagles of Niceville here at Eagle Stadium. The Indians have scored 125 unanswered points, just waiting on this PAT and a running clock here. This is incredible.
You can't help
this
but smile.
PAT is the biggest kick of the year, Gareth.
It sure is, and our view in front of us is just
emptier and emptier by the play.
The standing room only is getting less and less room standing, and the PAT is up. We have a 35-0 lead. The coaches staff, everyone on the sidelines are just going absolutely nuts. The style marchers, the cheerleaders, the Indianettes, the Brave, and the Squaw. The student section have been on their feet this entire game. Brady Brooks
just took his time to look at everybody. He pointed at the clock. You can't help but smile. You're winning a football game. This feels so much more than a football game. And you've kind of had the thought process, this is a different year. but we have walked into Niceville Stadium. We have taken a 35-0 lead. Now, we've had 2 possessions and scored swiftly 70 yards in the air so far in the second half. We've only had the ball twice. We are dominating. It hasn't stopped, and there the student section has started the scoreboard chant, and the student section for Niceville, mind you, it looks so empty, and all the fans on the concourse, they're not getting halftime concessions, Gareth. They're trying to go home.
You're right, and I got to give credit to the Niceville faithful. As they were leaving, there was a couple of Niceville fans that just now tapped me on the shoulder and said, "Hey, good game. You guys look incredible." So you got to tip your hat to the sportsmanship there. At the end of the day, this is Friday Night Lights. This is just high school football. This is a friendly rivalry at the end of the day. This is historic, though. Let's pause for a second and talk about this. The last time that Choctaw even sniffed a victory against Niceville, most of these players on the field were in kindergarten.
I mean, I'm a senior, and I was in pre-K, so any of these guys on the field, they are either my age or they are younger, and we all appreciate it, man. The student section's rocking. It's such a beautiful thing. It's more than football. These are guys that we go to school with, that we're friends with, and to watch them to succeed, it's not only good on a ball field level, but it is so nice to watch our friends go out there to go against Niceville, who's let us know they've beat us the last 13 years, and really just give it to them.
As well, they've earned that right. And the clock is running as Choctaw takes its time, coming up to the kickoff here with 5:08.76 remaining here in the third quarter at Eagle Stadium. Indians leading the Eagles of Niceville 35-0. The kick is away. The catch is made by the returner at the 8-yard line. And
in the back.
Niceville does dart ahead. It is speared by Mario Alloway.
Oh, there's got to be a 15 yards. Come on, ref.
Right in front of. Is he saying that he dove?
Did he flop?
I mean, he did have some acting there. He may have pushed him, but when I looked, I almost thought he was doing kind of a what's the safety's name I'm looking for? Where he just Brian Dawkins. I thought he was almost doing a Brian Dawkins celebration the way he was going out. And I don't think I'm too spoiled here. I want another stop. This running clock only lasts as long as we're up by 35. I see a lot of starters still out on the field. I mean, let's play with some urgency. Let's stay physical.
Niceville's going to take the ball over, 1st and 10 from their own 24-yard line, moving left to right on your radio dial, trailing the Indians of Choctawhatchee 35-0. Backup quarterback is in. The handoff goes is fake to their freshman
Mario Alloway.
Mario Alloway just sacks the quarterback for a loss of at least 10 yards.
You would think he had nobody blocking. He got right to him.
And I will tell you guys, the next time Choctaw gets the ball, we have seen the last of quarterback Taman Zabatakis. Number 15, Jack Morocco, set to come in at quarterback for the Indians.
Our own sophomore backup quarterback getting ready to take reps in the Niceville game in Niceville, Florida,
with
of all
the lead.
places, and a running clock, and that clock is at 3 minutes and 36 seconds. 2nd down and 20 for Niceville. The snap is away, and it is a screen pass. It is caught. Looks like there is nowhere to go for that receiver. It looks like we avoided a face mask there. That's good. And it is going to be 3rd down and probably at least 21 yards here for Niceville, deep in their own territory, trailing 35-0 with 3:15 remaining in their own stadium here in Niceville.
You know what's most impressive about this, Gareth, is it's a running clock. It's 35-0, and the physicality of Coach Brooks' defense has not diminished one bit. They are hitting, and they are hitting hard.
And you can see Jack Morocco's excited to get his reps in down there on the sideline as 3rd down and long is faced by the Eagles of Niceville. Their backup quarterback takes a shot downfield. It is almost intercepted.
That's a terrible call with a running clock.
That's going to be an automatic 1st down for Niceville.
And Ellis Alloway, who we've seen as an edge rusher, was kind of covering up the middle. I'm going to go and say it was a Tampa 2. He had 2 safeties guarding deep, and the middle linebacker responsible for the middle.
Well, if you take into consideration the running clock and the uncatchable pass, I'm not sure that was the best penalty, and it doesn't stop the clock.
Especially considering he threw it into quadruple coverage.
Yeah,
There's no reason that the chain should be moved in the favor of Niceville, considering it was 3rd down and 21, and we've just given them an automatic 1st down. Niceville's going to have it 1st and 10 from their own 27-yard line. Moving left to right on your radio dial, that is FM 94.3 WFTW, or perhaps you're listening live through our website, 943ftw.com. Either way, thank you so much for tuning in to Big Green Indians football on the Big Green Indians Football Network. The snap is away, 1st and 10 for Niceville. The pass is complete, and the Niceville receiver is met by a brick wall.
Coach Beasley's got to get his players under control, Gareth.
Yeah, that was Jordan Long. who was an absolute unit right there. He caught the ball in the seam. Jordan Long came downhill and met him, and there's a Niceville player down, and you're right.
He was
Beasley.
depleted.
Yeah, he held onto the ball somehow.
Yeah.
But brought down immediately, just ran into a brick wall. And you were right, Coach Beasley is pleading with his players to stay off his sideline players to not come onto the field. Both teams have had sideline
Beasley
warnings.
and Coach Brooks have really got to get his players under control, or Niceville could march down the field due to personal fouls. And I know there's not a lot of listeners out there that want to hear that.
Yeah, I don't know how sure you guys were of that previous play. I thought I saw the ball come out.
Okay, well, look at that. That's even better, because that would leave
down.
Niceville with a 4th and long and a decision to make.
No,
here.
they're forced to go for it. There's no punting the rest of the way here for the Eagles. Both coaching staffs are on the field. The refs, it looks like the refs are going to huddle up with the coaches possibly. This game is very close to getting out of control from a personal foul standpoint. And you got to be more disciplined than that if you want to get out of here with a big win.
They're coming out to punt here.
It looks like they are in punt formation, because you got to think, if they were brought down here, that would put the Indians in incredible field position.
Yeah, it's surprising that they're punting. I know future Indian Jackson Roberts has got to like this 35-0 score.
You got to like this from the standpoint that they allowed a stupid first down on a 3rd down and 21 penalty, and now they've held them to a 3 and out on their next set of downs here. So Niceville gets ready to take the punt deep in their own territory. The punt is away. It's got decent hang time. Breckdell is telling his players to move away, and it does take a nice bounce. It is in Indians territory, but they're going to begin their next drive at their own 40-yard line, moving right to left. That clock continues to run. It's at 1:35 right now. Indians leading the Eagles in their home stadium in Niceville, 35-0.
What I think is really going to be valuable, more than just the playing time for Jack Morocco, is the fact that it appears he will get his reps with the first-team offensive line, which is usually not the case.
Yeah, you have to wonder about that. You know, I'm not a coach. I'm not inside the psychology of their heads, but you have to. Taman Zabatakis is actually going out there.
I was wrong. Morocco looked like he was everything but set to walk out.
Yeah, but his brother Carter is back in the game in the running back position.
Yeah, him and Whidbey have been splitting the duties ever since Keller went out, and he's not going to return.
Yeah,
no need to return at this point.
For what it's worth, Morocco's gotten a bulk of the carries, so I will say this is our complete first team out for, I got to say, one more drive.
All right, so Choctaw gets set to take the ball from their own 40-yard line. 36 seconds remain on the clock. Shotgun formation, 4 wide receivers, trips to the right. The handoff does go to Carter. Taman Zabatakis keeps the ball, splits to his left, and is brought down for a small loss. It's going to be 2nd and 11 for Choctaw. That might be the last play of the quarter as it ticks down 18, 17, 16. Choctaw is going to end this quarter with what is 6? This is 16 straight shutout quarters
16
now.
straight shutout
That's 4
quarters.
games of football, ladies and gentlemen. That's 126 unanswered points during that span of time.
I'm having fun, and you would think they're winning. The band, I will give them credit with, they have multiple schools over there. The band's loud, but I'm having a lot of fun. It's been a pleasure to call this with you guys so far. I'm excited for this last quarter, which is hopefully the exact 12 minutes. We keep that running clock going. It's very important to keep playing hard, because if we do give up another score, the running clock will be gone. But yeah, it's really exciting and really fun so far.
And as many of the Niceville faithful make their way towards the exits, we are going to take a step away to listen to some of our sponsors here on the Choctawhatchee Big Green Indians Football Network. Of course, that is Big Green Indian, played by the Choctawhatchee Style Marchers. They've been playing that quite a bit tonight.
5 times to be exact, 35 on the board as we get ready for this 4th quarter of action.
Still only heard Eagle Pride once, and that was during their halftime performance. You got to like that.
Absolutely. Choctaw is working on 16 straight quarters of shutout football as they lead the Eagles of Niceville 35-0. They have the ball, 2nd and 11, now moving left to right on your radio dial. Thank you so much for tuning in to FM 94.3 WFTW, or perhaps you're listening on our website, 943ftw.com. We appreciate wherever you're tuning in from. Hopefully the Niceville faithful, they have made their way to the exits. Hopefully they're tuning in for the final quarter of action here at Eagle Stadium. The snap is away, and Taman Zabatakis quickly throws it to Brody Breckdell for a first down, and there's
What's
a
the flag
on the
for?
opposite side of the field. I'm not entirely sure what that's for.
Very late flag.
But had that flag not been thrown, it would have been a snap throw and completion for a first down. As it stands, we're waiting for a signal from the official.
So if this stands, Brady Brooks, he had the first completion of the game for Choctaw. This is his first catch since then.
And here comes the signal from the official, and it is on Choctaw. I didn't catch what the signal was. It was blocked, but it's going to move it from 2nd and 11 to 3rd and 16, I believe.
I think it was
must have been holding. It was a 10-yard penalty.
Okay, then it's going to be 3rd.
Nope, it's 15 yards. It's another personal foul. Choctaw playing a little bit out of control here in the second half.
I will say Brody Brechtel, he already has one personal foul. He did come up firing at the defenders.
Well, the good news is the clock is running. It's as they move the chains back, and it's now 2nd down and 26 for the Indians from their own 24-yard line. Moving left to right, it is 10:54 remaining here in the fourth quarter at Eagle Stadium. Choctaw leading Niceville 35-0.
You know, Gareth, in that 15-quarter scoreless streak you talked about, what's most impressive, that's 151-0 is the margin in those 15 quarters.
Wow, I was told there would be no math. And there is a completed pass. Oh my goodness, it's going to be a touchdown for Choctaw. He's at the 30, the 20, the 15, 5. That is a touchdown. And we're talking a 75-yard touchdown pass from Taman Zabatakis to
DJ Spence, the 3-star wide receiver, number 14.
Wow, 75-yard touchdown reception. It was a great pass, a great catch, and great separation. Turn on the burners. DJ Spence, 75 yards, touchdown reception. We were facing 2nd and 26, and we just got a 70.
How quickly things can turn around.
Unbelievable. The Indians, what was that? How many times?
It is now 157-0 in those 15 straight scoreless quarters.
So on that last
158.
drive, either it was the last drive that we played or the first drive out of half for Choctaw. DJ Spence had 40 yards in the air for Choctaw, and right there we saw there was nobody. Sorry, I thought I turned it off. There was nobody behind him, so he's got one guy to beat. He caught a little curl route. He hit a little spin around, and you missed that one tackle. He's gone. There was no contestant as soon as he broke that one tackle. Huge by DJ Spence and Taman. That is just about 120 yards in the last 2 drives for DJ Spence.
This is incredible. We have people just high-fiving us as they go. They don't care that we're on the air. They're clapping hands and clapping shoulders, and it's just a beautiful thing to experience.
The amount of room we had compared to the amount of room around us when the game started is unreal.
It is, and I hope that means there's more ears listening in as the fans make their way towards the exits. That means they can tune us in on the radio, 94.3 WFTW. Kevin, Brady, we're up 42-0 right now. The clock is still running. It's 8:44. Brady's just loving this. He's dancing. Dude's got rhythm.
I've never been so excited to get back to school Monday. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know this is a Friday night kind of thing for y'all. I'm with these guys every day of the week. I cannot wait to get back with my brothers that are on the field. This is just, I'm having a blast. You're right, I'm dancing. There's no reason not to.
Current students, former students, faculty, alumnus, team, players. This is just a night to celebrate. It's not a streak. It's a curse. And then, ladies and gentlemen, it's over.
And may I just reiterate, Choctaw Indians of the 850 are in Niceville. They are up 42-0. Let that sink in, folks.
Because I tell you what, if anybody out there thinks that Niceville had a better team all 13 of those years, they were sorely mistaken. That's why it's a curse.
Very true, as the kickoff is received by Niceville, and they do have their best return of the night, but they are still brought down shy of their own 30-yard line. They're going to begin this next possession, I think, at their own 25. It's going to be 1st and 10 for Niceville. 7:40 remaining in a running clock game. 4th period.
The only question is now is what Coach Brooks and everybody else wants to know: can Choctaw get the shutout? Because that's more important than anybody thinks.
One thing to follow: Amir Reese went into halftime with an injury. He is on the field, up big here. He's covering right on our side over here. So
that's
a lot of the ones are still in.
That shows us Coach Brooks wants a shutout.
Absolutely, got to keep it, got to maintain it. This is a watershed moment for Choctawhatchee football team as the snap is away and the freshman running back Gilliard does dart ahead for a 8-yard gain on 1st down. It's going to be 2nd down and 2 with 8:55 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, people stop me asking what station we're broadcasting on there so they can listen to it leaving the parking lot.
I love it. I like it. I like it a lot. Second down and 2 for the Niceville Eagles. We got our safeties deep. We're trying not to give up anything, as that is a really good catch that was made by Niceville receiver. And Niceville,
in traffic.
Niceville has brought themselves into Indian territory.
To the 49.
And that was number 4, Noah Reens, who is actually a Toledo commit.
Okay.
So Niceville does have their share of studs on the field.
Well, they have crossed into Indian territory for, I think, only the second time this evening. It's going to be at the 49-yard line. Someone has called timeout.
I believe that was a TV timeout. I saw the refs hit a little chest tap.
Okay, do they have to stop the clock during the TV timeouts too?
Unfortunately, yes, and since it's a TV timeout, it's longer than a standard timeout.
Well, in that
my
case,
fist.
I think we're going to go ahead and take that timeout with them. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Big Green Indians Radio Network, ladies and gentlemen, on WFTW 94.3. And welcome back to Eagle Stadium with a running clock here in the fourth quarter. 6 minutes and 16 seconds remain. Niceville has crossed into Indian territory just barely. They're at the 49-yard line with a new set of downs. And there is a pass that goes all the way downfield, and it is completed. It's the first time the Niceville faithful have had a chance to celebrate anything tonight, as they have caught the pass at their own at the 19-yard line, and they are in the red zone. And there's the Niceville fight song.
You know, the ball was underthrown, and number 7, Amir Reese, just didn't do a quick enough job of getting back to the ball, and it was a biggest play of the game for Niceville.
All right, Choctaw, I'm not sure if they got all their players off the field or not, but their quarterback runs to his right, and he does a little jump pass and actually competes. Was that player in bounds? Yes, so that was... I'll tell you what, Niceville showing a little bit of heart here.
I tell you what, scoring a point for Niceville is the biggest part of their game right now, and preserving the shutout is the biggest part of Choctaw's game right now, so let's see what gives. But Niceville, with a very good kicker, looks at least primed to score points this drive unless Choctaw comes up with yet another turnover.
It's first and goal from the 9-yard line for the Eagles with 5 minutes remaining. The snap is away, the throw is up, and the separation is there, and the ball falls incomplete, but the clock does not stop because, well, the Indians are up by 42 points.
Yeah, and I'll take a second to go over some scores. We got the best one, 42-0 Choctaw over the Eagles. Rickards, they are playing in Georgia against Colquitt County. Third quarter, Colquitt up 17-7 against Rickards. The school across the street, not a win yet, 21-18 lead in the fourth quarter. Bluntstown up over Arnold 44-22, and St. Augustine, the scores went final in Nice. They have won 28-24.
All right, and it is second down and goal from the 9-yard line for the Eagles of Niceville with 4 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the fourth. The snap is away. The throw goes to the end zone. It is caught. It is caught for a touchdown by Niceville. The shutout streak comes to an end. It was 16 straight quarters, and all 337 members of the combined Niceville and Ruckle band are warming up their lips, playing their fight song for it's only the second or third time tonight.
Yeah, this is the happiest moment of the game for me. Niceville scored, but the fact that they just celebrated like they won the state championship, that they finally scored against us, says everything you need to know about Choctaw.
And I know I came into the game saying you don't think about the streak, you're thinking about winning, but, losing it kind of sucks. But on the bright side, our defense is good enough to be pity about giving up a touchdown up 42-0.
You got to love where we stand offensively, statistically. As the point goes up, the point after goes up and in. Niceville has broken the scoreless quarter streak of Choctawhatchee. It comes to an end at 16 and a half quarters, and I think like 156 unanswered
168-7 is still not shabby.
No, it's not. This is, what else can we say, Brady and Kevin? This is just we talked about the honor it is to wear the headset and to be the voices of the Indians, but what a pleasure it's been to have this record in the early season. Go ahead, Brady.
So, obviously, breaking the curse, not the streak, but the curse of beating Niceville, that's good. And to touch on that wasn't really like a bad defensive drive necessarily. Like, even if you're playing good football, it's hard to go that many quarters scoreless. We saw, kind of just a deep ball, Hail Mary almost in double coverage, and it just so happened to land in his hand, so you don't really fault too much at the mechanics of the defense. I think it was going to end at some point, and it happened. But 168-7, it's good. That is a very, very good run that we're on.
And while we've been talking, the clock has been ticking down. We are under 2.5 minutes here at Eagle Stadium. The score is 42 Choctaw, Niceville Eagles 7.
You expect Niceville to go on side here, obviously.
You would, but we're not really lined up in a formation that would.
It's quite the head scratcher. Coach Hendricks knows what he's doing.
They also didn't go
But
for
it
two.
is an onside kick, and it is recovered by the Indians immediately by number 16.
And that is going to be Keith and Osborne, who caught a touchdown pass in week 2 against Navarre from Jack Morocco.
Good remember, that's a 30-yard touchdown pass.
Yes, it was 30-yard strike.
And that's
not a touchdown, a strike.
That's interesting that they went for an onside there. You would think if they're still fighting for this, you'd go for 2 to stop the running clock on that last touchdown. But I think it's just like we're not going to kick it all the way off.
Actually, Brady, in FHSAA rules, once the clock is designated running clock, it will not stop, even if they cut the lead to 1 point.
You know, when you take into account the 4 touchdowns that Crestview scored, I think that Niceville has now been outscored 52-62. I was told there'd be it's like 70-7.
Yes, in the last 3 quarters. Is Zabatakis and Choctaw starting still in the game, just to show you what this game means to both teams.
Yep.
They're still playing as if it's the first minute and 12 of the game.
That's very true, and that clock is going to be ticking down. It's going to be under a minute here in a second. And you're right. We've got our 1 still in the game. We've got the same formation that we've had all game, and the handoff goes to Carter Morocco, who crosses into Eagle territory, and it's going to be second down and about 7 from the Niceville 49-yard line. 48 seconds remains here in the game at Eagle Stadium in Niceville, Florida. Ladies and gentlemen, the score is 42-7 in favor of the Indians from Choctaw.
And I know, Kevin, they
Looks like we got about 2 plays left, most likely.
Yeah, they cut off the scoreboard early. We know today that they might even cut it off before they hit 0.
They might cut it off before it hits 0.
So get your
gotta
phones
be
ready.
ready.
Get your phones out. Make sure that we get proper pictorial credit for this huge watershed victory for the Indians football team. They're in the victory formation.
That is it.
And they take a knee, and with 15 seconds remaining here in Niceville, Florida, the Gatorade bath has begun. Coach Beasley is a sopping wet, drenched, but extremely emphatically happy coach of a 5-0 Indians football team who just destroyed the Eagles of Niceville in their home stadium 42-7, ladies and gentlemen. 42-7. The Indians are 5-0. They have only allowed 21 points on this entire season. I don't know how else to characterize it or to switch it up or to restate it, but this is awesomeness personified.